Hello, everyone, and welcome to Duel Inc. number 100. We are just starting the Swiss portion of the tournament. We're going to have 5 rounds before going into Top Cut. I'm Kater, and I'm joined here today by Raze.
Hello, hello.
All right, for our first round, best of three here, we've got Gay Cowboys versus Big Boss. Already starting off with some great team names. I do love Gay Cowboys. I can't wait to see uh, both of these teams have at it.
Yeah, they're icons on Battlefire better because Gay Cowboys is a snob with a cowboy hat, and I have to really appreciate that because like their name little weird, but like the icon impeccable.
You gotta give credit where credit is due, you know?
Exactly.
Unfortunately, yeah, you guys can see it on the Battlefy if you go to the bracket. You can see for yourselves this work of art. But you can see the map pool up on screen right now for round one. We're gonna be starting off on Splat Zone's Muscle Forge Fitness. And this I like Muscle Forge Fitness. I know a lot of people don't, but I like it myself just because it's pretty cool with the weapons I play. But also the zone on this one is just like completely all mid. It's pretty big. So you'll have to see. Oh, and we have a Kenta Dynamo. I do like that pick. There's going to be a lot of ink around that, but it might struggle a little bit against the faster paced weapons like K52. So we'll just have to see.
I actually really like the Gay Cowboys composition. I think Tri-Slosher Dynamo is fantastic for the things that Big Bosses try to do, which is just standard double shooter. And
Yeah.
like the Dynamo and the Tri-Slosher play fantastically off each other. So I think once this zone flips in Gay Cowboys' favor, it's going to be really hard for Big Boss to come back into it.
Well, we have the zone flip right there, and so we're gonna watch them, like you said, try and get this lockout here. Already you can see the Dynamos come back in, and both of them are just chilling out on the zone right now. Both of these weapons also really profit off of the slopes on this zone. Both of them have that fall-off capability with the bucket or the dynamo. And so here, Big Boss does take back the zone right now, but no one has gone down yet. We do have the Ink Storm out, so that's going to help quite a lot. The Booyah Bomb unfortunately catches that try, though, but we have a Booyah Bomb right back. Fortunately, it doesn't manage to catch the zone, I don't think.
No, I want to see this Dynamo play a lot more aggressively. This map is absolutely fantastic for it, like you mentioned earlier. It plays really well off the slopes, and even off a situation like that, like there's no reason for this Dynamo to be playing passively. We can just get up in the face of the 52 and the end zap and just completely lock them out of this game. Like let's push forward, let's take space.
Well, we might see that a little bit. I think they are just going to play it safe, hang out in the zone, and wait for Big Boss to come to them right now. We have the Storm out, so that is going to help, but that Booyah Bomb is going to cover a lot of the zone. They do paint over it very quickly, though, which is great, but now that both shooters are in, they're going to put down a lot of paint. I don't know if that was a trade, but there is one down on both sides, and now the zone has flipped to Big Boss, so this Dynamo, it does have the Booyah Bomb, going to pop that. Not quite getting, doesn't get the pick, but puts down a lot of paint stalls for time, which is what they want.
Yeah, absolutely. So this Dynamo is doing a good job at like maintaining zone and doing his job, but I want to see the Dynamo play more aggressively around his Tri-Slosher, that companion they have. On the flip side, Big Boss is doing a fantastic job of getting these picks and isolating this Dynamo and making the Dynamo not feel safe, and that's absolutely what they need to do to win this game if they want to just firmly lock down this zone.
Yeah, getting both members down right now they can now start the lock. You can see they're painting up for those specials, and they're not necessarily pushing forward, but they are definitely lying in wait. We have the Booyah Bomb from the K-Gal, and it looks like I think that Dynamo's trying to take the longer route into mid, but they were noticed, or maybe not the Dynamo, and there's the Booyah Bomb. There's both Booyah Bombs out, so one directly over the other. That's going to pretty much cancel out the paint, and we're almost at 25 and counting. So Gay Cowboys needs to get into zone, but unfortunately the Dynamo going down there is going to make this a lot more difficult, as now the Tri-Slosher goes down to the 52 as well. That is rough.
Mango with that fantastic double using the splash walls really well to make the Dynamo just not want to push forward, not want to like take the space they need to win the game. And then that last fight at 25 was just, it was it. That was all that could happen. Like Gay Cowboys really needed to just push forward and commit and grind through it. And they saw the splash wall. They decided, you know what? Let's just simmer down and we'll take the next two games.
I mean, that's fair, considering this is Actually, I don't recall if this is play all three or best of three. I know I asked this and then I immediately forgot.
It's play all three.
It's play all three. So even losing that first game, they still can bounce back with these next two. And of course, every single game played in this Swiss is going to factor into their placement into top cut, which is really important. We're going to be moving on to tower control on the reef. So this one plays a little bit differently, of course, in my experience. You do have a longer tower path here, and you have also all three checkpoints as opposed to some other maps that only have two.
Yeah. The one thing that I'm going to be really interested in watching the set is there are two critical junctures in the map. There are two really critical parts, which is top mid and then closed when you're pushing tower. Top mid prevents people from dropping on your right side, and then closed prevents people from dropping on your left. But in this 2v2 format, you can only secure one of those positions. So I'm really interested to see how both teams play around that, and if people favor top mid, where they can potentially grind out a much longer push and get jumps back in, or if they favor a push from like closed that's much more explosive and has more impact value.
Yeah, I've seen these 2v2, yeah, like you said, in 2v2 formats a little bit different. So I've watched a couple of these tournaments before, and in my experience, I think people tend to go for top mid just because, like, you know, it's right there, it's pretty accessible. But like you said, pushes from a different direction can just as easily have as much, if not more, impact than that. And it also definitely depends on the compositions, whether we're going to be seeing that Dynamo Tri come back again, or if they're going to switch off of that.
Yeah, I really like the Dynamo Tri on tower control reef, because if we put the Dynamo on tower and let the Tri just do whatever it wants to do, that could be a really it could be a nuisance. It could be really strong. But on the flip side, if we switch that up, that can also be a good thing. The one thing that I don't want to see is I don't want to see any jet squelchers, because I think they will just get drowned out.
Yeah, that is a fair assessment as somebody that has played that weapon. So it looks like we're not seeing the Tri, we're seeing a switch to the orange Zap, and that's a gold Dynamo as well. So a little bit different in the specials, but we will hopefully probably be seeing a lot of missiles. And it does look like, okay, there's the first armor, because that is the same Kagel Zap, and so that's first take of the tower by Big Boss. Looks like they did decide to go for that top mid and then immediately drop down. That's also the one pick on the orange Zap, so they can continue pushing this tower forward. And it looks like the Dynamo's just sitting on top mid right now, doing their best to keep that under control, but unfortunately they do go down.
So Big Boss is doing a fantastic job at taking initiative. We saw how the Zap just dropped on a tower and said, "This is mine," and then pulled it forward. And then as soon as the orange Zap of Gay Cowboys dropped in, they instantly turned around and counter-engaged. So Big Boss is doing a fantastic job of that. And this tower is moving forward basically undefeated. But if I'm Gay Cowboys, like, yes, exactly what that Dynamo did. Walk around, let's try to get this tower and try to circumvent this 52, but it's not enough.
Yeah, unfortunately they were spotted. We do have a trade though, so one down on both sides, but they continue to move that tower forward because the Kagal's just taking that place though and sheltering behind that pole. Unfortunately, the Dynamo's swings weren't able to find their mark that one time, so that is a relatively fast game to Big Boss.
Yeah, like the initiative that Big Boss took on early was just so critical, because once that tower started moving and then Big Boss could just get a bunch of turf all over the map, and it completely cut off the mobility of Gay Cowboys. And a Dynamo can be a little sluggish if it doesn't have turf, but they also weren't too alive after the first 10 seconds. And that was one of the key things that their composition needed to do with that Dynamo and NZAP, is they help play up each other's strengths and weaknesses. But if neither of them are alive at the same time, then you don't get that composition synergy. You just get two individual weapons.
Yeah, staggered respawns hurt a lot in this 2v2 format, just because, you know, sometimes when you have a 4v4, you know, not everybody's in the fight at the same time, but when you have that 2v2, all of your sometimes in that 1v2 situation that you get pushed into, you know, all of the opposing energy is directed at you if you're on your own, and it just makes it that much more difficult to go back to take that objective or to get the turf that you need.
Yeah, absolutely. And it can also be much more daunting too, because when you're in a 4v4, that 1v2, that's like, oh, that's just a little drop in the bucket, I'm not going to lose the game. But now when it's in the forefront of your mind, if I lose this 1v2, I could just lose the entire set. It becomes a lot more, the pressure is much more crushing than in like a 4v4 format.
Yeah, it's as much a mental battle as it is just one of not having as many people to have your back. All right, our final match for this set is going to be Clam Blitz Inkblot Art Academy. So, you know, the Funny Clams map. Switch back to K Dynamo, and ooh, we got a little bit of a comp switch up here. We have the K Machine as well as the Jet Squelcher. That's Vanilla Jet Squelcher. So we have Splashin', and then we have Missiles. What are your thoughts on that?
So I like it because on this map this is much more open and we're going for a longer push that Big Boss is. So we have one weapon to spearhead a push in, being the Kent's Machine, and then we just set up our vanilla Jet Squelcher, and no one on Gate Cowboys can challenge. So in a situation like this, where I can just set someone up at a really big open spot and then have my compatriot do all of the rest of the work, I think this is fantastic. The big challenge here is going to be picking up clams and not just staring at each other for 5 minutes.
Yeah, that does sometimes tend to happen, but I believe that Big Boss definitely knows how to push the objective, like we saw in the previous one. I mean, and here's exactly what you're talking about. We have the Fizzy Bomb, just the Fizzy Bomb spam going in, and they have the Power Clam as well. So once they get, I mean, just one pick, because of course that's half the team, or not. There's the pick. There's the Dynamo pick on the Dynamo, and then they're immediately going to throw in the Clam and go in for some more. And having both members of the team down, Gabe Cowboys down at the same time, is going to buy them time to go back into mid. But this Dynamo is also in a really nice position because they can just fall down just like that and just crush someone with their roll. And it looks like they're going to go for the pick on the other person too. So very nice double from them, stopping that push. 44, which is a decent push, but it's probably not as long as Big Boss would have liked it to be.
Oh no, absolutely not. Like, you get 9 clams and a power, and that's 47. So it's completely possible for K Cowboys to just completely spin this game on its head. That being said, they also did a fantastic job on defense of punishing the fact that the Jet was holding close and not the Machine. So the Dynamo dropping in was absolutely fantastic, and let's see if they can get this initiative going on defense.
Yeah, they have a good amount of clams between them. Unfortunately, the Zap going down is going to stall that push, and there is the immediate threat of that Jet having the Power Clam, so I think the Booyah Bomb is probably going to be targeted at them, or I guess not. I mean, sometimes that's just because you can see them. The Dynamo, though, there's a trade, so, but we do have the Jet just going in with that Power Clam in a close-up firefight with the Zap. The Zap loses somehow, and that is unfortunate, and so the Jet is just going to be able to throw that Clam in. They do have to face off against the Dynamo, but I think they're going to just cut their losses and head back.
Well, what happened is the Jet Squelcher backed off, but that was so his teammate could go in. Because if the Jet Squelcher backed off, the Dynamo followed, leaving the front side open, so that was a really well-timed disengage from the Jet Squelcher.
And it worked. We've
Yes.
got all the way down to 29, which is a good position to be in. But with that Booyah Bomb directly onto the basket, that's trying to clear some room for the N-Zap. Unfortunately, those missiles are going to scatter them, push the N-Zap far back. You can see the Machine slowly advancing. The pick, the Dynamo gets the vertical flick, which is very nice, but it's just a tad too late. They have the Clam, but I think it's a little bit of just cutting your losses, trying not to be seen at this point in the game.
Yeah, I wish we held on to that Power Clam. Main reason being, I want to see this Dynamo take more initiative, and the problem that Dynamo is having this game is dealing with the long range of the Jet Squelcher. If I have the Power Clam and I can say, here's where I am, push me, people 9 times out of 10 will push you, which helps solve that problem of not being able to take initiative. If the other team solves that problem for you, that's absolutely fantastic. So I would have personally wanted to hold on to that Power Clam to see if I can do a bait and switch or pull some crafty maneuvers out to try and get back in this game.
Yeah, I mean, we do still have the Pity Clam, but that is kind of just there for last resort. And then here we do kind of have the stare at each other and try and pick up clams. We have about a minute left in this game, and still no points on the board for Gay Cowboys. Like you said, they still could turn this around, but it's going to be a little bit harder now that Big Boss has all the way to 29, and also, and that score could definitely go further. I mean, we already see just the clams going in. That was a really nice pick into the clam basket throw-in. Although they don't have any more clams on them, down to 15 is almost sealing the deal right there.
Yeah, now Gay Cowboys is climbing Mount Everest, essentially. They just have such a huge mountain to climb, and with what looked to be a double kill, it's only getting taller, and they really need to just push.
Yeah, it's difficult though with the mist, just the constant barriers that are being applied, and even and just the pressure. Even though I mean the machine didn't get that double, but they got one, and that was really important. So as the second stick down, that pity that is there is going to ensure overtime, but that's only about 20 seconds. Of course, they've picked up the pity. That is one pick on the K machine to the Jet Squelcher. It is on their own in mid. There's the missiles out as well, but every second that they're not pushing forward is a second that they can't afford to waste. And now the mist on the step and all of those missiles and everything is going to make it so much harder. That's the pick on the end zap, and the Dynamo is surrounded, and unfortunately that is the game.
The game ended as soon as the mist went down onto the step.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who may not know, you cannot climb that step when you're misted. Mist essentially removes the ability to jump. So
Yep.
as soon as the mist came on that step and the NZAP didn't pivot, the game was basically over. And that's how strong that anchor vanilla Jet Squelcher is here on Clan Blitz on Inkblot. And I think it was a really smart weapon pick. Big Boss said, we've won this set. All we need to do is not drop the next game. So they played some safer weapons. They didn't have to take as much initiative. They basically said, all right, we see you, gay Cowboys. We understand what's going on here. You want to take a game off us. That's fine. You can try, but we're going to play a comp that doesn't require us to take initiative to do what we need to do. And they executed fantastically.
Yeah, I really liked the pick of that Dynamo. I mean, throughout the set, we saw some great moments from him, especially that positioning on the Inkblot matches with that drop down to stop the push. But like you said a little bit earlier, when Gay Cowboys had their grip on initiative, they just weren't able to not quite commit to push forward to take some space, and that unfortunately did come back to bite them. But with that, that wraps up our first set of Swiss. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes with our second set, so stay tuned.
Welcome back, everyone, to Duel Inc. We're about to hop into round 2, featuring Flint Lockwood and Grizzco.
Oh, come on! You gotta say their full name like once.
Oh, hold on. I gotta pull it up since I have
Don't
to.
worry. Okay, it's Flint Lockwood Diatonic Super Mutating Dynamic Food Replicator. And as you can see, we are not fitting that into the text box, so we will be calling them Flint Lockwood for this set.
Versus We Don't Talk About Grizzco. I am Raze, joined by Cater.
Yes, that is me. Hello, everybody. We have some very long team names, and so they will be abbreviated because we will not. I refuse to say the whole name the whole time. We're gonna be starting off round 2, tower control on Monte Maria. So some more tower, but on a little bit of a different place this time. This sure is a map. I have very mixed opinions on this one.
So I think every player has mixed opinions on Tower Manta Maria. One key point that I want to hit on for Manta Maria is it's very fast. It's almost claustrophobic once you get into streets. So it's the pace gets amped up, which I think is going to be very entertaining to watch, especially when in 2v2 you want to slow the game down and generally have better control. So I'm very excited to see how this plays out.
Yeah, I mean, it just gets so much faster once you're in those confined spaces and you're forced to play. You're forced to look at other people and actually interact with them instead of, I don't know, farming for special the whole time. Which because some of these 2v2 matches get really stally. Not all the time, but some of them do. All right, we have our weapons revealed. All shooters. Wow, who could have guessed? And we have the Zap, of course.
I don't think this will get stally. That was something we were concerned about for a nanosecond, but if both these teams stall out, A, I'm going to be very disappointed in them, and B, I'm just going to start talking about random stuff, and nobody wants that. So...
Oh yeah, feel the full weight of Raze's disappointment in you, and I don't think any of these players would like that. We have one down on both sides now, and oh, everybody's dead. All right. I think this is the only version of stalling that we're going to be seeing. Just everybody dying, and then we have to wait like 5 seconds for everybody to come back in, and then it's just boring, and we have to watch this. But now we have Grizzco taking that tower, just for a hot second, get a couple of points on the board. But of course, you have to find the people that are waiting for you on the other side. There's the missiles, and we have the armor ready on Flint Lockwood as well. That is going to get popped, so they can hopefully come forward, get some picks, and that is exactly what they do. Take both of Grizzco out, and so there is, of course, the lead. Not that it mattered much.
Yeah. So Grizzco only got on there for like 3 in-game ticks. So the lead wasn't super important, but what we should point out is that Grizzco got 1v2'd. The end zap for Flint Lockwood was just on the tower, and now that we're just watching this K-shot, like, they're on a roll. They're on fire. They've gotten like a majority of the frags this game, and the tower's just moving completely uncontested. Like, how does Grizzco stop this?
Yeah, this NZAP is chilling. There is one checkpoint between them and the end, and Grizzco really has to deal with this, but they are both dead right now, and I don't even think they'll respawn in time to stop that.
Alright. I'm gonna, Grizzco, if you're listening, I have a huge tip for you. The K-shot doesn't win the game if you don't run at it. Just leave them be for a couple seconds, get the person on tower, and then don't worry about what else is going on. And once you do that, you'll last a bit longer, and you'll probably be a lot better off overall.
That is a fair assessment, yeah.
That being said, move on to Clamblet Snapper Canal. Oh boy. I think if we were concerned about Manta, I'm terrified of Snapper Canal. Snapper Canal is a grindy map when you're playing it normally, but when you're playing it with only 2 people, this could be a very, very long game.
I mean, we saw the K-shot play fast last time, but that's because, one, they had people to fight, and that's just because the NZAP was chilling out on the tower. And that's because the tower moves forward on its own. But Clamblitz doesn't move forward unless you put in the clams. To be able to do that, when you only have 2 people on the map, things. I mean, we saw in those previous matches, like they're not necessarily too slow, but like the pushes are they're not as big as you would get in a 4v4 game.
Yeah, absolutely. And something to point out is with Snapper Canal being such a huge map, there's a chance that like the players don't even interact with each other until Clam Basket's open. Like, we could just not see anyone play Street at all, and then both teams can just run into the other side of the map, and it's a game of whoever opens Basket first. Would it be entertaining? Absolutely. But would it be the way to win the game? I don't know if I can endorse that one.
Yeah, I mean, then again, most people don't listen to stream while they play, so your endorsement is not necessarily the thing that's not necessarily the prize that's being played for here.
You mean my endorsement isn't the end all be all of everything?
We do have a prize as Duel Inc, but unfortunately, I don't believe that's what these players are vying for. No, it was a raise all along. So yeah. those $100+ you can use them to book Raise's services on Metafy for $5 for half an hour.
There's dreaded run from it. I always arrive.
Oh God. it was always Raise. It's inescapable.
That being said, it's time to escape my Metafy's gaze for a moment to look at Clam Blitz Snapper Canal.
Ooh, Hydra.
Hydra, let's go.
Hydra versus Double Zap. Oh boy, oh boy.
There it goes.
Oh no, the
There's the
Hydra. I was gonna say I love Hydra, but you know.
I was so excited for the Hydra. I'm still gonna talk about the Hydra. Okay.
Oh, please do.
I don't think it's going to be amazing to watch. It's going to be really fun. But I don't think Hydra's the pick. The reason I don't think Hydra's the pick is because the mobility of the two N-Zaps of the other team just mean that unless the Hydra sits under basket the entire game, the N-Zaps can just run around it. So we're basically leaving our teammate to 1v2. And as they showed last game, they absolutely can do that. But I just don't want that to be a dependable strategy. So Grizzco being more mobile in the second game, I think is going to be a huge boon for them. That being said, the Ink Mines from the custom Hydra can really help limit their mobility. So if the Hydra does play with those Ink Mines, does use them effectively, then it's a very doable composition and a very doable game.
Yeah, I mean, the range mobility trade-off that you get from Hydra is really, really pronounced. You have all of this space control, but you can't really move. And so, like, even swimming, it's really slow. And so, like you said, I mean, that the lack of mobility is going to hurt that Hydra a lot. It is still very possible, though, especially because they can reach over a couple of those gaps that are really important. And, you know, it's Snapper. Maybe we'll see somebody fall in the water. It's probably not going to happen because, you know, only 4 people as opposed to your usual 8, but it could happen.
I for one would love to see that. Also, to talk about Hydra for a second, the two compositions, it's like strength versus dex. Hydra is just pure strength. I'm going to walk forward at you with my high DPS, and you're going to fall over. And then the double N-Zap is just, well, good luck trying to hit me. And they have the armor so that the 1 or 2 shot that does hit them just kind of glance off.
Yeah, it's like unstoppable force versus a movable object when you pit them against each other, you know?
Exactly. So I think they're probably subbing out after that first disconnect because
they are taking... Yes. So I don't think we'll be seeing the Hydra. I don't remember who had the Hydra, if that was the sub or not, but they are subbing.
Yeah, which is so unfortunate because I was so looking forward to seeing that custom Hydra.
It would have been so cool, but unfortunately, you know, sometimes the disconnects get the better of us. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're probably going to go back to what we saw in the last set, which was K-Shot N-Zap, which is still going to be really fun. It's going to be skirmishy. It's going to be fast. So we just have 2 dex builds now.
Yeah, as opposed to your, you know, I put all of my points into strength and everything else is my dump stat. But yeah. there we go. There are 3 end zaps, which in my opinion is maybe 3 too many, but you know, that's okay. There's gonna be a lot of fast fights, like you said, a lot of skirmishes, and well, we could also just see them, you know, paint for like the first half of the game and collect clans.
So, as much as I appreciate the painting the map early to establish control, like make sure that we're playing the game right, this is a 2v2 tournament. Like, let's go fight some people. This could just be like the inner player in me taking over.
There we go. There it is.
Yeah, let's do this more. Let's like just go and absolute slug it out, because like if I'm Flint Lockwood, that's what I want to do. That's what happened in the last game, and that's where I very cleanly won that slugfest.
Ooh,
and here again,
and it's working.
I win the slugfest again. So if I'm Flint Lockwood, I am down to just run at Grizzco as many times as it takes me to win this game. But on the flip side, Grizzco, they have to figure out, how do we not just get beat? How do we not just lose? Like, on the top right of the screen, we missed the end zap falling in the water.
Hello? Why are you... Oh no.
Oh no.
Wake up! Please wake up!
He's got his AirPods in.
Oh no, he can't hear us! Oh god!
So...
Oh no!
Okay. So... Host disconnected? I think? I'm assuming?
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
I didn't do my homework for the tournament.
Neither did I.
I don't know what the disconnect rules are right offhand, but I'm assuming the 30 point, pushing it down to 30 is probably going to be enough to win that game, but we'll have to wait on TOs to decide that.
Yeah, it looks like if DC occurs after half the objective is achieved, game is given to the team that didn't DC. Yeah, okay, so that, I mean, I don't know who was hosting, so...
So I believe it was production. I believe production was hosting. So, like I said.
No? It's no?
It wasn't?
Okay.
I'm just gonna wait for the TO to tell me what's going on and just keep talking.
Yeah, that's pretty much a good call for the situation. You just gotta... But yeah, I think that... I don't know what happens in the event of a host DC, but in a regular DC, it would be the team that didn't the team without the disconnecting player.
Yeah. So scoreboard has updated. Flint Lockwood 2-0 up over Grizzco. Right. So I'm assuming that means that Flint Lockwood has taken the second game, and then they've locked this set in. So now it's Grizzco. Can they take a game off Flint Lockwood in this second round of Swiss?
Yeah, and oh, look at where we're going next. We're going to Splat Zones on Gobi Arena. Oh boy, I sure do love Gobi Arena.
It's a map mode combination that exists.
Yeah, you know, here's my official opinion. Is that Gobi Arena is one of the maps that was ever developed and put into Splatoon 2. It really is. And you know, that's my final say.
It was put in the game. It's in the files. That being said, we do have to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't. Oh God, I mean, I want to see. It's like, I've seen Dynamo on it every time this map mode combination comes up when I'm commentating, which isn't often, but like it's come up like twice. So if I've had a nickel for every time I had to talk about it, it'd be twice, which isn't a lot, but it's kind of weird that it's happened. I've seen Dynamo players go absolutely bonkers on this map, and of course we're not going to be seeing that this time, but I feel like I have to mention it because the Dynamo is on my mind after our first set.
Absolutely. Dynamo, Explo, Rapid Blaster, Rapid Pro. Like, I think anything with range is going to be really good here on Gobi, because the open court, the center of the map in zone, is really nice if we want to skirmish it out, if we want to just slug it out, but that doesn't work for Grizzco. So I would like to see them do a pivot into more range, into like a Splattershot Pro, a Jet Squelcher, something that gives them more utility to not have to fight Flint Lockwood, because at a disadvantage when it comes to just pure firepower.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to take too many fights just because that gives you more chance to die, obviously. And so having that little bit of more of a range, that utility, like you said, is going to be really, really useful when you consider just the way this map is, because you have the mid and the ways leading into mid, and then the I think it's called stands officially. I don't know what it's called, but just the big platform that looks over, that's where, you know, the long range weapons tend to hang out. And if you're up there, generally most weapons can't do too much damage to you other than bombs. I mean, obviously you have like the things that can reach over ledges, but generally you're doing all right, especially in this 2v2 situation when a lot more attention is going to be focused on what's happening in mid, on the zone specifically.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Like, I think range favors this, definitely. Like you're talking about, it gets really hard for weapons to just do anything that throw bombs, and so that being said, I'm very interested to see what Flintlock would do too, because like they have the firepower advantage. They can just take K-Shot and N-Zap and run at the other team and win. So do they just keep going, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, or do they continue to just go forward?
All right, looks like we have a little bit of talking about the structure. A team, we're working something out. We're working something out in the Battlefight chat. It's definitely working.
Yeah. Oh, I just read what.
Oh
Yeah.
no. Yeah.
Okay. So hot off the production press.
Extra. Read all about it.
One of the teammates from, I don't actually know which team they're on. One of the teammates. Okay, one of the teammates from Grizzco disappeared. Is no longer present. Is MIA, has gone AWOL. So the jury is out on whether it will be a 1v2 or if they'll even play the third game. So
we are awaiting the final decision.
We're having an absolute wild roller coaster of a ride here in the production booth.
We had one normal set. We had one, and then you know, usually it's like round 3 or round 4 that this happens, isn't it? But you know, it had to. They couldn't wait. The teams just couldn't wait to make something funky happen.
Yeah, I mean, well, now everything's all hunky-dory. Like, we've got Splat Zone's Gobi Arena, and now we have a 1v2, or potentially 1v2. Like, everything's going crazy, and I'm honestly here for it. I'm having a good time. I'm here for the ride.
That's the job of the comms. We sit back and we watch, and we don't have responsibility for anything at all, and it's very, very entertaining.
So let's look forward a little bit. Let's look at the map list going on to the rest of the tournament. I have it here in a notepad.
Why do you have it in a separate file?
Because I wanted to pull it up more readily.
That's fair, yes.
Also, I'm just a notepad aficionado. Like, if I can put it in notepad, it's going in notepad. Like, it's going on notepad. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, it's clean, it's fair. Organized. Ever since they added dark mode to notepad on Windows, it's just like...
They added what?
Yeah, you can vanilla notepad, you can put it dark mode now.
I was not aware of this.
It's great. It's so good.
I used to use a text editor called Atom until I stopped using text editors.
Yeah.
Where are you getting this?
It's just normal notepad.
Yeah, like just note. Yeah, where is the dark mode?
If you tech tutorials on broadcast. Okay.
No, I need to know this.
Okay. So under where you close it, there's a little settings gear.
There's absolutely not.
Wait, it might only be for Windows 11.
Oh, you're on Windows 11.
I'm on Windows 11.
Windows 11.
Yeah.
To quote Ink Ferris video.
Okay. All right.
I'm on Windows 10, so that would do it. All right, we have a little update on how the set is going to go. So Flint Lockwood did have a sub. They have a sub on their roster. You can have up to 3 people on your roster for this event. So their sub is going to play with Crisco. So we have pretty much Flint Lockwood versus Flint Lockwood. which is great. I love that.
All right, well, so there are 3. We have every player of Flint Lockwood, and then 1 player of Grisco, which is 4 people, which is how many we need to play this set.
That's
So,
true.
I'm all in favor for this, honestly. I want to see this last game get played out. I want to see more sets get played out. So I am here for it. I am so down.
This is gonna be really interesting. It's always a fun time when you got to play against somebody that you know, and the fact that they're. I mean, I don't know how much these people have played together beforehand, but suddenly being put against the people that you are supposed to sub for is probably really entertaining.
I'm sure that everyone, at least with Lockwood, I'm sure they're having a laugh about this right now. That being
Yeah.
said,
I mean,
we-
they were a sub. Doesn't have to specify which team they're a sub for.
fair. All right, we're in the game. We're in the game.
All right, we
Me-
got Splatlings on the board.
Let's go. All right, we got a mini and a Hydra Splatling. The mini's going to be put out a lot of turf. The Hydra is just going to try to set up and say you can no longer play the video game. That being
Yeah.
said, I feel like the K-Shot missile and the mini missile have a lot to say to that Hydra Splatling.
Yeah, I mean, both of those weapons can pump out a good amount of missiles with all of the turf that they put out, and already the Zap being down is going to put such a damper on this. The Hydra is going. The Hydra is on the ground and taking people out. Oh my goodness, that is Battle Hydra right there.
But that's absolutely what the Hydra needs to do. The Hydra just
Yeah.
says, if you're not going to respect my range, I am not going to respect you either. And they absolutely just walked over Flint Lockwood. Missiles coming out here, but like they just walk in a tiny little circle. They pop their armor and
That
that's
is new,
it.
you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they didn't actively displace the Hydra. The
Look
mine
at all
on zone,
the missiles.
the mine on zone to cover the missile to keep it from coming down, like was impeccable.
Oh yeah, the Zap going down though. Unfortunately, it looks like the Hydra's going. I don't know where. Oh, there they are. There's the Hydra. Takes one out. Unfortunately, gets taken out. But that was great. I mean, Battle Hydra is exactly what you need here. You can't just sit and wait for the opponents to come to you because of the nature of 2v2, where you are half of your whole entire team. I think it's really important. Also, like, all of these missiles single targeting the Hydra because there's such a threat is so funny to me. Like, I feel for this Hydra as an Anchor player myself, but it is just like that sometimes.
Well, yeah, and when you have a weapon that is like this is why Hydra isn't played a ton in normal plays, because it just gets missiled into oblivion and then it has a hard time doing things, and that's honestly exacerbated by 2v2. It's like even worse. Oh, the Battle Hydra. Oh,
Yes.
too little, too late. But
Yeah, but that was beautiful.
It
Just
was
the
so
drop down the drop down into both kills, absolutely amazing. I mean, I don't even know if they recharged during that, or if that was just the one.
That was one charge.
That is the beauty of Hydra right there.
I didn't
man.
even realize that the game was like over because I was just like, yes, Hydra, please continue.
Hydra is amazing. So Flint Lockwood will take that set 3-0 after quite a lot of tech issues. Well, not issues. I mean, we had the whole notepad thing. But yeah, there finally is the end to the set. So with that, we'll take a break for a couple of minutes, and then we'll be right back with round 3, which hopefully won't be as eventful as this one. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Duel Inc. 100. If you're just joining us, I'm Cater, joined here today by Raze. We're in round 3 now after that roller coaster of round 2. Hopefully we can relax for just a second as we go into Solar Eclipse versus Hot Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get some more normal Splatoon action that won't involve tech support tangents on the side. But looking at this map list, we have Clam, Blitz, Piranha Pit zones, Mako, TC, and Show. So honestly, pretty standard stuff. Everyone should know what's going on here in these map modes, and I think that means we're about to hopefully see some interesting Splatoon.
Yeah, pretty standard as opposed to, oh, I don't know, Gobi zones. But that is behind us now. We have Squiffer. Oh, hey, we should talk about Squiffer before this thing started. And Remix and Octobrush. Ooh, this is going to get really interesting.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I have a soft spot for. Oh, and we do have the Squiffer. I gotta point, not the Squeezer. Sorry, I gotta point out the Squeezer. Man, I'm gonna get confused with Squiffer and Squeezer on the same team.
Oh, tongues are going to get tied. It's going to be fantastic.
Why must you do this to us? But yeah, I mean, I feel like the Brush Remix combo is almost like the Dynamo combo that we saw earlier. Not quite, but similar in the way that they can play off of each other with the range, the mobility, and we do also have that first clam of the game going in, as well as the directly segueing into an Inkjet. Oh boy.
Yeah, so I that's a good observation, and I really like it because it's basically true. Like, this Splatling can just sit down in mid and do whatever it wants, and the Brush can just run around and be a nuisance for the other team to track. And
yeah, I mean, you can see the Splatling versus the Squeezer though, because the thing is, the Splatling doesn't want to take too many hits because there's a lot of the damage from the Squeezer, and so they're just ducking between that pillow. It did eventually end though, and so that Brush is just going to swim right up to the basket and toss in yet another clam. So that is down to 70, and of course they are getting a couple in. Ooh, the up close shot. Very nice. I mean, unfortunately, they did fall to the Brush, which is kind of inevitable. But taking the Brush down with them is really important there.
Yeah, that shot was absolutely fantastic, but Solar Eclipse not to be outdone. They fire back with 1 pick, 2 pick. Now it's time
Red
to
pick,
get
blue pick, maybe?
Yeah, now it's time to get a clam in the basket, and let's see if the Squiffer can hit the shots to keep this push going, or...
Ooh, the brush just said, you know, you're not even gonna try and touch that Splatling. Good on them. And they're right back at it, although they're going to have to dodge a couple of shots, but of course they're a Brush, they can do that no problem. So they're just gonna chill out here. Never mind, I guess there's no chilling to be done, unfortunately, as that jump does get camped. You hate to see it.
Yeah, this game is just so back and forth, though. Like, 2 down on one team, 2 down the other team, 2 down once again after that, just for fun.
Ooh, bubble pop. Love that. Oh, that was beautiful.
Okay, so let's...
Now it comes to Solar Eclipse. They're in firm control of this game. How do we snowball it? Obviously, more clams is on the agenda, but this Squiffer, just... If they shut down this Brush, that would be huge. Lead flips to Solar Eclipse, and now the Brush is just running for vengeance.
So you can see the Brush running directly at that Squiffer, and that is a threat if I have ever seen one. I don't think they got the pick in the end, but still, it is really funny to watch. And we have this way, okay. I mean, call-outs, but okay, alright then. There is the Booyah Bomb, narrowly avoided, very nice. And we are back to looking at each other and trying to get more clams.
Yeah, so this is the weird neutral state that comes to 2v2 because no one wants to push forward, but the range of the other team makes everything hard to do. The fantastic point sensor to catch out the Brush, and this push is going to be huge for Solar Eclipse.
The clam! It dropped! And now I mean, of course they're gonna get it in, but that was really funny to just watch it roll off the edge.
Clam spawning in on bump 2. This... Keep the basket open. Keep the basket open.
Yes. Okay.
That is the perfect clam spawn right there. Exactly what you want. And, I mean, they're keeping that basket open. I don't know how much longer they can. I think they're content to just chill out with where they've gotten to because 19's a very nice place to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then if they start closing some of these clam pods, if they only pick up 3 clams out of those to make sure that no more clams can spawn, Solar Eclipse is sitting in a fantastic position. Because I don't know about you, but I would love to be a Squeezer with bubbles sitting in front of baskets saying you have to walk into me. That just seems like
yes.
a really fun position to play.
The Mare Inkjet shot. They did unfortunately go down, but still very, very nice. And that leaves the way open for the Squeezer to come in with some more clams. You can see they waited on that last one to keep it open. Don't think they're going to be able to pick up any more just because not a lot more have spawned. But, oh, okay, I stand corrected. There it is to 2 remaining. So, with the Squeezer unfortunately going down there, they're not quite going to get the KO, but that is as good as a KO because now it is up to Dr. Pepper to take this push and make it count. So they have some of the clams, and that brush has a lot of them, and is likely going to get all of them in before they do get taken out, so that gets it down to 31. A good place to be in, but not quite enough to stand up to that 2 remaining.
Yeah, Hot Dr. Pepper, though, did something that I really, really liked about their push. They didn't pick up the pity clam. They left it and then walked forward and got normal clams to score. Oh, that shot. I got interrupted. But it was such a good shot.
I know. I mean, yeah, sometimes you just gotta get interrupted by the shot. And
yeah,
that is a victory jump out to spawn there.
Yeah. But by not picking up that pity clam, they insulated themselves on future pushes because they could drop in, instantly get overtime, and move forward. Also, jumping in with that pity clam would have put them in a very weird position in terms of extending their push. Because when you jump in, now you don't have any mid control because the other team can just walk out and say, hi, what's up? You're under basket, but like I'm where all the clams are. So you might have just scored 40 points, but you can't score any more points.
Yeah, and especially when they needed a really big push, they needed more than those points that they would just get. It was really nice to see that, you know, like, it's a little bit of an insurance. Of course, with the other side power clam going in, that clam did kind of become irrelevant, but that's okay. It's good in the moment.
Yeah, I think they did the best they could have with the tools they had, and they almost they were really close to actually getting something together. So. Yeah,
unfortunately, overtime is just short, and sometimes it's just like that, but they did a great job with what they had, like you said. All right, we now got Splat Zones on Mako Mart. This is the bread and butter of the competitive community, so if you've not played this one, I don't know where you've been.
Where have you been? That is the question. Zones Mako, it's the map that everyone likes because everything's good on it. Blasters are good on it. Sloshes are good on it. Shooters are good on it. Splatlings are good on it. Chargers are good on it. If you play a weapon here and you don't feel comfortable on Mako, I don't know what you're doing.
You were going to say if you play a weapon, it's good on here, but ooh, we got Explo Flingsa combo.
That's so fun.
I love this so much. I love Explo in general, but that paired with the Flingsa, both of these just zoned weapon, I mean, in regular 4v4s are really great to watch. And so having them paired here together in this slightly more isolated environment is going to be a joy. Unfortunately, though, the Flingsa going down, and oh, nice miss jump there. Good job. You were on stream. Smile, you're on camera. We saw that. But unfortunately, the Flingsa does get taken down again. The Explo is chasing after this person, almost has the shot, but they are getting chased themselves now, so we have a very roundabout fight. Both specials getting popped there. Explo gets missiled as well. There's the bombs. The Flingsa goes down again, which probably hurts at this point. And we have the timer at 50 and counting. And here is the push-up taking space. I think we have yeah, there it is. You know, you're just right at that spawn. And you can't really move when there's a little nuisance of I think that's the splash over there.
Yeah. So, also something to talk about. Solar Eclipse, they're playing so well around each other. Their synergy is fantastic. When one person backs off, another person goes in, and vice versa. Like, the pressure, like Hot Dr. Pepper, they couldn't take the space that they needed to get that Explo set up to function, and you could really tell because of how dominant that game was.
Yeah, I think what really hurt was the Flingsa going down early because then the Explo couldn't set up with the help of the Flingsa, and then it kind of just spiraled from there, unfortunately, especially with the Flingsa getting cornered and all of that. It would have been a really great combo to see had it gone a little bit differently, but unfortunately that is how that second match will end.
Yeah, so Zones Mako going very definitively to Solar Eclipse. Next up, though, Tower Control Anchovy Games. I think there's a decent possibility that we could see Explo again. I know people don't like Explo on Tower Control, but Anchovy is a fantastic map for Explo. So if Hot Dr. Pepper wanted to pull out Explo again, I definitely think that could be in the cards.
It could. That is definitely a possibility. I mean, we've seen a good range of weapons here in this set in just these past 2 games, so we could see a couple of different things. Especially just because tower control and Ancho, I feel like this is one of those that's like it's pretty common. Like you see it counterpicked a lot when you can't counterpick zones, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Like
so that's where a lot of the experience comes from as well.
Yeah, TC is like the second in the hierarchy of modes that are acceptable. So it's like zones is the most acceptable, and then it falls to TC. So a lot of people have a lot of experience on tower control, and they're experienced in it. And you can definitely tell that when you actually get into game and watch players on TC.
Yeah, it's like tower control. What Antro, Manta, Sturgeon, Inkblot are those maps that you see a lot counterpicked when you can't have the zones. So yeah, that experience will come out here. So we do have some swaps. We got the 96. We're back to the Octobrush, and the remix combo. So it's fair. Yeah, I can understand that.
I really like it. I think it's going to do really good here because if the brush can get up under these ledges in street with the remix on tower, it is going to be so hard to deal with. It's going to just choke the Solar Eclipse team out, and they jump away and concede the map. Like, remix, let's get on that tower. Let's just get this brush into position to have as much fun as they possibly can.
Yeah, I think they're doing almost a role reversal there, as you can see, which is forcing the Inkjet pop. Unfortunately, they do get taken out. So I think that was a little bit of an interesting choice there, having the remix go in for the picks instead of the brush.
So the idea there was probably going to have the remix move up and then just try to suffocate Solar Eclipse.
Yeah, I think that would have been, that's fair. The brush, though.
It didn't work because Solar Eclipse is just so mobile in their double shooter. I think we really need to just put this remix on tower because no matter how you slice it, how you look at this game, how you look at tower control, everyone has to approach the tower. So let's put the thing that needs to get approached on the tower.
Ooh, oh no, that is a difficult place to be in. The Inkjet dying and putting paint on the ground, and then the splashdown. You just kind of know in that moment. Like, I think the remix kind of knew they were gonna die there, which is really unfortunate. And there's the exact same Inkjet position pop. Although this time they take out the brush instead of vice versa, and they get the pick on the remix too. So this tower is going to advance slowly and steadily. Not even that slowly. It's going pretty quickly to that second checkpoint. And I mean, this Octo shot is not having any of it. They're just right there.
Yeah. So the Octo shot trying to again pull the Inkjet.
I felt that through the screen. Oh yeah. That hurt.
They didn't even see it coming.
It completely blindsided me as a comm. Like, I felt my heart jump in my chest. Oh, I feel so bad.
The Inkjet usage out of that Octo shot has been impeccable. Amazing.
Like, both times they popped Inkjet, they got
splashdown jump at the end.
they got the picks they needed to just win the game. Like,
yeah, I think that first one, they did get taken down early by the brush, but after that, they just did exactly what they needed to do with that. A really, really useful tool, and you could see they know where to pop the Inkjet, the locations to put the jump spot down in. So really, really nice. You can see that experience really shine through here. And that does it for round 3. So we are more than halfway through our Swiss round at this point, because we've got 5 rounds total.
Yeah, we're a little past the halfway point. We've had one roller coaster set and then 2 sets that were entertaining but a little one-sided. So
yeah,
as we're getting into the later stage of this tournament, the scores get closer and closer between these teams, and that's where things get really, really interesting.
Yeah, that's where we'll get those slightly closer matches and those closer sets as well. So we'll be back in just a couple of moments with round 4. Do stay tuned.
Welcome back to round 4 Swiss of Duel Inc. I am Rage, joined by Cater, and we're getting ready to go into the next match.
Hello, I am Cater, and we do indeed have our next match. That sure is a thing that's ready. So we've got Weepenball and Friends versus Team Dark. So we have our maps up on screen. We're going to be starting off with Zones on Skipper. And this is actually a map that I like quite a lot. I never really know, I don't know the exact reason why I like it, but it's just very fun for me personally. I do hear that a lot of people don't like it, though.
Yeah, so not a lot of people like it, but I think it's just because they haven't put a lot of time into it. I personally really like this map, but I also developed a very fun strategy. Yeah, to deal with it. I'm very interested to see how this sploosh does, because depending on what this sploosh does, they can either take over this game by just curling bombing in behind Weepenbell, or just absolutely get farmed.
Yeah, it looks like we got a little bit of a split here with the sploosh going top, and unfortunately they did get taken out, so that does leave the Zep on their own for a little bit. That lack of range is really going to hurt, especially against the K-Gal, I feel. I mean, lack of range, relatively speaking, as you can see from the weapons that we have here. But here is the first curling bomb in, and oh, that splashdown getting canceled has got to hurt. Unfortunate.
We should have just splashdown zone there. I think hindsight 2020, we absolutely just mash splashdown and then do another 360 to get into that zone, because
well, they got it again. So hindsight is very powerful, and well, hopefully, I don't know if they'll be. Oh, there it is. There's the. Oh!
Get shot down. Yeah.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, because now Rogue has to get the double kill to win, and
it's very difficult.
Doesn't get the double, and
that's unfortunate.
That's just the game. That was a very.
Yeah, I think the sploosh pick, it could have worked, but it does take a lot of work to make that work. Just because you got to compensate for that lack of range. You got kill time in the blink of an eye, but you have to work around that. And you can't always do the sneak flank thing because there's not nearly as much action going on that field to distract from you doing the funny little sneak. Like, with that first time they tried it, it would have worked, but I think they got noticed just a little bit earlier than they wanted to be.
Yeah, and something else that we have to consider on sploosh is it's a very powerful tool. If we get into zone and we just do a 360 and we just rotate ourselves all the way around in a nice clean circle, we can flip that zone and get penalty before we go for those picks, and that's what needed to get done. Because I think we got greedy for that pick on the end zap, who just took 2 steps back and said, "No, thank you." and that was it.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just like that sometimes. But we do have 2 more games to go, so we can still make this work. We can make it work. We've got Tower on Inkblot next. Another one of those, you counterpick Tower because you gotta counterpick Tower maps.
Yeah, absolutely. And the good thing about Tower Control Inkblot is that middle block. When Tower is moving to the left, you can sneak someone up onto Plat, and all of a sudden, you've completely enveloped the defense. And I think if we're going to keep up with a Sploosh pick or a very mobile short-range Slayer like that, it is something that we absolutely need to take advantage of or threaten at the very least. Because if we don't put any pressure on the defense when we're pushing, I don't really know what we're accomplishing.
Yeah, I mean, it's another one of those, just really weird neutral states if you don't put the pressure in the place that you need to. And of course, it's not as profound as it is in Clan Blitz when the objective isn't moving, but you still gotta have somebody on the tower and making it go forward for everything to progress.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw earlier in the day, teams would just set one person on tower, and then the other person would just run at the enemy team and get both the kills that they needed to get. But I don't think that'll work this set. That being said, there is still plenty of time to get proven wrong.
Yeah, all right. Well, we have the switch to the T-Tech now, so that's fair. A little bit more range, a little bit more fighting power, but we do also have that 96 Gal, so that is a lot of range, a lot of power in that one weapon. And then we have the armor. I believe that Weepinbell did pop that armor because I saw that, I think. And then we have the holding on to the armor as well as the. Is this which special does this Gal have? I forgot.
It has armor and sprinkler as its kit.
Ah.
So Team Dark is running double armor. And if you didn't notice earlier, I don't blame you. But the NZAP is running tenacity and 2 mains of special charge, which means they're going to try to get a lot of armors. And I think that is a lot of misplaced faith, if I'm being completely honest.
Are you saying Dark's Zap or Weepinbell's Zap? Because there are
Dark's
two of them.
Zap.
Yeah, so armor is their game plan here, probably. Whether it works is something we'll have to wait and see. I almost thought this was the Splashdown Gal, but it's not. That's the funny Gal.
Yeah.
Oh, the bomb pick. That's unfortunate on the tower. And we have a little bit of hitboxes. I sure do love those. I love camera clipping.
I think that's more of a we love ramps moment, personally.
Yeah, that's true.
Rather than a hitbox problem.
Yeah, not hitbox, but like the camera movement. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. So.
All right, so we've got Team Dark chilling out on this tower right here. There's the bomb, of course. You can just stand on the other side of the tower to avoid that. There's the armor pop, one of probably many to go, and this does force them away from the tower a little bit. But of course, they can just re-armor and take those fights. No picks yet necessarily. They just kind of backed up and then went back down. Shadow going for the pick there. Unfortunately, doesn't get it. I think they were one hit off. So that is up to the Gal now, and I think they are forced to back off quite a lot.
Yeah. So after that push kind of stalled out, the real question I have for Team Dark is, how are we getting up to that high ground? We have the 96 Gal, obviously, but eventually we're going to have to throw something at that high ground that Weepinbell has to move away from, and right now I'm not really seeing any ways for Team Dark to do that. And when Weepinbell can just run at my other teammate like this, that's not a dependable strategy.
Yeah, they're doing their best here. The T-Techs on the side, they're on their own though. So I think it looks like they're just going to do a little bit of painting over mid for the time being. But that T-Tech does have that inkjet, so that can get really important right here as they're going to use it to just rain onto that tower. No picks, but the pressure is still what's pretty important, although their jump does get camped. So that tower did get a little bit closer to that second checkpoint, and it's getting there. It's going up that ramp. Almost there. The scores are very close, though. They're just going to have to wait this out for the lead, and there it is. So really, really nice biding their time right there. Unfortunately, one does go down to a bomb, and I think, Rogue is just gonna cut their losses. Not really losses, though, because that was a pretty good push.
Yeah. So I asked the question, how does Team Dark plan on pushing in? And they respond with, we're going to punish the enemy team's mistakes. Team Dark did a fantastic job during that push of just getting one pick, pushing forward, another pick, pushing forward, another pick, pushing forward. So Team Dark now in the defensive seat where we can let the 96 gal really shine and put Weepinbell on the hot seat saying, how are you going to push forward now?
Yeah, absolutely. The sheer power in that 96 is going to be really, really important when they are placed on the defense here. We've got Weepinbell going forward. Unfortunately, that Zap going down is going to hinder that push a lot. We have the T-Tech in a little corner, but they have definitely been found out. They do manage to get one pick down, but I don't know if they're going to be able to get this second. They are sharking right now. And we got a lot of go around, so yeah, they're gonna cut that one out. But with their teammate back, and the Inkjet at the ready, they can definitely make another attempt at this push.
Yeah, Aiden just did a fantastic job at staying alive. He had no right to stay alive that long, and
oh yeah.
Then Team Dark does a fantastic job of that during that team fight. Like Rogue pushes in, gets the kill to stop tower, and then backs off instantly to wait for his teammate to come and back him up. Like, that was just a fantastic defense. 17 seconds to go, both armors on Team Dark. This game is very, very challenging for Weepinbell right now. They need to make something happen or the game ends.
Yeah, I mean, they need control of that tower, but with the armor, of course, on the side of Team Dark, they're going to be able to get onto that tower pretty quickly. We have a little fight on the tower, but that results in the victory of Team Dark, and so that is going to be that match. We have a set now that's 1-1. Would you look at that?
Yeah. Now it all comes down to game 3. The final game in the set. Clam Blitz Go Be Arena. Smile. So
I didn't look at that last map. I didn't process it. I didn't actually I did not process it when I read off the first 2 maps. And why are we still here? Just a sucker.
So, if Team Dark keeps their composition exactly the same going into this set, the 96 gal of the NZAP, I think they probably have the advantage because that extra range in the 96 gal is going to be a huge boon against the K-Shot NZAP of Weepinbell. But if Weepinbell can get the ball rolling, if they can start the snowball, then it is going to be very hard to stop.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things about Clan Blitz on Gobi is that great right in front of the obvious path to the basket. And so it's sometimes really funny guarding that grate when you can just see people like throwing down bombs and then forgetting about it, and then the bomb just bounces off and it's like, oh no, you know?
Yeah. Or trying to baller push
yeah,
through it,
and you just get stuck.
And it's like, wait, why am I not going through? Wait a second, and you realize, oh, there's a grating here that just doesn't make sense.
There sure is. Yep. Yeah, so you can't baller push with the clam directly up to the basket with this one. Not that we were necessarily seeing that, but that is something that sometimes people fail to remember.
Well, it's more challenging because instead of going through the grating, what you have to do is you have to go on an adventure. You have to go up the basket, across to the left, down the ramp, and then you have to take a right and jump across to the enemy plat, and now you're under basket.
You sound like you're giving me directions to like the Wonderful Wizard of Oz or something like that.
That was the point. Like, it's doable. It's just a lot harder and not worth the effort generally, was the message I was trying to convey with that.
Well, you definitely got it across, and oh boy, we have a composition. So, oh yeah, I don't think bubbles go through the grate either, if I'm not mistaken. And that is going to be very relevant here if I have not misremembered.
Yeah. So, Team Dark going with the aggressive strategy that they had in the first game that kind of fell flat, and already what we're seeing right here is the sploosh going down. And that's just not what we want to see. These bubbles should come out from the Forge Pro, though, to just grind this push to a halt. But where is the special power? That is the question.
Oh, no. Yeah, I didn't get a look at their gear, but those bubbles look regular size, and That is, you can't do that as a Forge Pro, unfortunately. Just, you can't have the regular bubbles.
So, this blue shear coming up huge, getting that first pick, but not able to get the second. Weepinbell is now just going to pick up clams and turf mid and try to get more points.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're here to do. We do have the armor pop as well as another power clam form from Weepinbell, and that pick on the sploosh means that they can go in here. Ooh, not quite though. The Forge managing to shut that down, and the way that clam landed is going to be really hard to pick up, so they're just going to leave that to despawn. So, narrowly missing that second clam getting thrown in. Nice job though, they lasered that.
Yeah, the Forge Pro came up absolutely huge on defense. Shadow went down, but like the Forge Pro Rogue said,
I got you, bud, don't worry. And absolutely lasered the 96 for this defense. Bubbles out to control some mid. We need turf desperately if we're Team Dark. And these bubbles are giving us the space. So if this blue drops down, we can get mid control very, very quickly.
Yeah, these missiles, though, gonna hurt that a bit. You can see how much pain. And the sprinkler, too. Almost had a sprinkler killer, not quite. But the Great getting caught there, really, really unfortunate. And so that is going to lead to the barrier being broken again. Not too many clams out in mid, so they're gonna get another one in, but I don't know if there's gonna be too many after that. We do see them coming up with a couple more. So we have one, 2 more, 3 more before they get shut down.
Yeah, it almost looks like Weepinbell is locking pods that they need to push with. Because there are just no clams on the map. I haven't looked at clam spawns on here on Gobi Arena that intensively before, but it just... Whenever Weepinbell tries to push, it just...
Oh no! Oh
they
no!
never have firepower.
Wait, we almost saw that push from Team Dark there, but the splash on getting cut short, and then the Forge kind of walking into that, and unfortunately just getting crossfired to oblivion. Unfortunate.
Splashdown comes in to make space. Now it's just a game of waiting if we're Weepinbell. All we have to do is just wait for the sploosh to get impatient, and we can just get things going.
Nice clam throw. I mean, you got the double, but yeah, no, I'm sorry. I don't think you're gonna be able to jump for that one.
Weepinbell need to take just a fat vibe when they're pushing. Just chill out, slow, and just throw the power. Both the two pushes they've had now have been absolutely fantastic. They've gotten to the basket, but they got through that grate. They're like, I have to throw it, I have to throw it, I have to throw it. And the power clam just became unrecoverable.
Yeah, the thing about Gobi here is, like, if you miss, you throw it up onto that platform. You can't get it unless you have another teammate that's already up there, because the sponge isn't your color. So, we got a clam throw in. I think that was thrown in just before Weepinbell got theirs in, and so the sploosh here absolutely coming in clutch with this little push around here. Very nice splashdown. Does get the pick off of it, and all of those clams drop, but not quite fast enough. And there is another clam just immediately counter push power clam going in. And so, we got a little bit of back and forth here. We do have another power on the side of Team Dark, and it looks like that Forge is going on that adventure that you talked about. So with the sploosh going down, but they're able to get that in. And it's a question, not the Forge, but yeah, the Forge. Is the Forge going to be able to stand up here and throw the clams in? And the answer is yes! There we go! I mean, they didn't move at all.
Yeah, so dealing with that flank, if you're not ready for it, in mid becomes incredibly hard, because now you have to go on your own adventure as the defending team to wrap around your base and like splat that person. So if you're not ready for it again.
Yeah, but I mean, Weepinbell just recovered from that and had said, hey, you got that push, but we have another one of our own. They made the clam in, and they were able to get that done, and that last clam in is going to end overtime. That is the set, 2-1.
In favor of Weepinbell. Weepinbell did a fantastic job. They got the double at the end against Team Dark, and then instantly ran forward with no second thoughts. They pedaled to the metal, full accelerated right towards the other team, and they were under basket with powers in before Team Dark even had a chance to defend it.
I mean, yeah, and that's what you gotta do. I mean, even not even just in 2v2s, but you gotta be able to pivot instantly and go, because this game is just so fast paced. Respawns only take a few seconds, and so you gotta make use of that time that you have while you have it. That is a great end to our 4th set. So we have just one more before we go into Top Cut. We'll be right back in just a couple of minutes. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Duel Inc. number 100. We are back with the final round of Swiss. We've got Gregory Fan Club versus My Little Pony. I'm Cater, if you're just joining us, and I'm joined here today by Raze.
Hello, hello.
All right. So we do have this round, and because these two teams are currently in 8th and 9th, not respectively, I don't know which is which. This one is going to decide who makes it to Top Cut. So no pressure at all. We're going to be starting this off on Pit Tower. Oh boy.
Interesting. It's not very often you see Tower Control Piranha Pit, but let's also look at the last two maps in the set, Clamblitz, Mako Martin, Splat Zone, Zapper Canal.
This is Splat. Yeah, you don't see zones on Snapper that often. It's usually like what, all of the other modes.
Clans, yeah.
Tower, maybe. Oh, we got another squeezer. Nice. All right, so it looks like we have the V-Jet also. So we do have a little bit of range, well, not a little bit, a good amount of range on both teams, the V-Jet versus the squeezer, but there's a lot of difference in the power both those weapons put out, with the squeezer doing a lot more damage, so we might see the Jet back off those fights a little bit more often.
Yeah, and what that will really depend on is how much mist this Bronze uses here on Jet. Because if they use a bunch of mist...
Wait, bro, I love watching Bronze play. Yes, this is going to be so good. I was going to say, I didn't, until you said Bronze, I didn't register that, but this is going to be very good then.
Yeah, so what we're looking here is you're going to see how much mist Bronze uses, because if Bronze uses a lot of mist, they can take over this game really easily with all the influence they're going to exert over the map. If they don't use as much mist, then they could potentially have more trouble.
Yeah, therein lies the pain of fighting a Jet Squelcher, just having your feet painted every time you try to run away. Really nice pick, and so now Bronze is on that tower. There's the missiles as well. And of course Mist to follow that up immediately. I mean, that combo is really nice, the Mist-Missile combo. And winning that fight against the Squeezer, nice job. They will likely have to get this other pick here if they want to take that tower again, or they could just wait, because as you can see, we do have that Keiga on the tower, and immediately pops that Booyah as soon as they make it back to mid. Does force the jump out as well.
Yeah, and that's a really good jump out, because if we stay in there as Bronze, we're forced into a 1v2 that we don't really... I don't think we want to fight that. So
yeah, getting so many missiles. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of those missiles and two picks down on My Little Pony as well means Gregory Fan Club can take this tower back to mid and hopefully a little bit farther this time. They want to make it to that first checkpoint, hopefully clear it as well. Those missiles are going to help quite a lot, especially because the members of My Little Pony are trying to come this way to take them, to fight them very quickly, but those missiles are going to prevent that. And of course the double missile is already going to just exacerbate that. The tower does get lost, but they did fully clear that first checkpoint, which is really important.
Clearing that first checkpoint is so important, because now it's just a wide open road in front of Gregory Fan Club. So the double missile also just making it so My Little Pony just can't move where they want to move. They have to move into the turf where like there's a Jet Squelcher or a K-Shot waiting for them, and it's just a lot of pain.
Yeah, we have the Jet, does get one pick, avoids the Booyah as well, so manages to stay alive through that. As you can see, they're trying to get the person on tower. We got a little bit of juking going on here. They're going to go directly for it as well. The Crossfire, though, does does finish off that 52. And we're seeing a lot of, I feel like at this point in the game, we got a lot of like 1 versus 1 picks. Like one person goes down, then another person goes down, and there's a little bit more stagger in the way these teams are playing.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I think what it is both these teams are much more comfortable in their own abilities, so they're willing to just go for things. And that's what we're seeing here, is we're seeing players just go for things that we might not have seen earlier on in the tournament. Like, how many times do you think a K-Shot is going to just go in for a 1v2 because they think they can?
Yeah, I mean, I know the players on Gregory Fan Club I've seen time and time again. I don't know as much about My Little Pony, but from what I know about these players, they are comfortable with these weapons, very very comfortable with these weapons that they play, and so they're willing to take those risks that we might not have seen earlier, like you said. We're at a little, oh, not quite a standstill really, but just almost a neutral state. Although My Little Pony popping both their specials and getting on that tower, or trying to get on that tower, though they do eventually make it up there.
Yeah. So with My Little Pony slow pushing here, they just need to get something going. But Ace does a fantastic job here, just going, absolutely not.
Yeah,
Now
the jumping K shot, that's not something you want to look dead in the eye.
Absolutely not. You never want to look at jumping K shot in the eye, because then the jumping K shot will fight you. And once they start fighting you, they will not stop fighting you.
Yeah, I will say, like, you don't always want to antagonize the K-shot, but that's not really something you can avoid. I also think this person just got double single targeted, and then the mist. So it is a wonder that they stayed alive through all of that. And through this, we have Gregory Fan Club pushing past the location of that first checkpoint, going a little bit farther, touching that second checkpoint, which is quite nice, especially because we only have 10 seconds left in this game. So with My Little Pony in control of the tower, if they can keep it through this last 6 seconds, they'll be able to force overtime, but they do have quite a way to go. Oh, that first pick, but they do, and they do manage to stay on the tower, so it is a 1v1 situation right now. Bronze is just, firing on that tower. A couple of hits, though. They do have their teammate to back up. One assist, and then just getting on that tower. Although we have the firefight, the miss is going to hinder that fight, but the tower is still going, and they're running out of time. The bubbles as well. We are definitely, this is an overtime push right now, and with how far the tower is, there it is. There is the lead take back. Wow.
So I think what we just watched there is impatience from Gregory Fan Club.
All we had to do as Bronze is sit on that high ground and shoot at tower. And wait for Ace to respawn, and then while we're shooting at tower, Ace comes in from the left or the right or off angle, and then we win the game. We had that much of a lead to deal with. But Bronze dropped in, tried to fight, couldn't get the picks. And then My Little Pony, they got Ace. Then they just kept inching tower forward. Then they got bubbles, and then the game ended.
Yeah, the bubble placement there just on the tower, pretty much just swallowing whoever wanted to push that, was really, really nice there. And, sometimes in the overtime moments, especially because you got that siren blaring, it just kind of happens like that. So it's unfortunate, but sometimes it is really hard to wait for that couple of seconds. But sometimes you really do need to do that.
Yeah. So moving into this second game, Clan Blitz Mako Mart, My Little Pony ahead in the set. But if we saw anything from that last game, it's really close. And Gregory Fan Club, if they just tighten up a couple of things, can absolutely take this set. So, do we think that My Little Pony switches? Do we think they stay? What are the feelings?
Well, Mako Clams, it doesn't play too terribly differently from the rest of the Mako modes from what I've seen, just because this map is so standardized at this point, and because pretty much everything can work. Of course, it does kind of favor just a little bit more short range, a little bit more able to take advantage of those ramps, those ledges, but pretty much anything can work here, although it's a bit more difficult with that the 2v2 situation. So there's the switch to try. I can definitely see why they did that.
Yeah, Ace was having a huge impact in the last game, so that Tri-Slosher pick does make a lot of sense. I'm going to be really interested to see how this Squeezer does in handling Bronze, because if Bronze doesn't get dealt with here on this vanilla Jet Squelcher, then the Tri-Slosher is just going to do a big fat nothing. So
yeah, it's a whole, everything depends on everything else, and there is, pretty quickly, My Little Pony is going to go 2 down, so this gives a lot of space to Gregory Fan Club. Of course, they can't immediately push, because, Clan Blitz, but Bronze has quickly made a power, and with all of those missiles going down, they are going to be able to get one in, and back up and stay alive, which is really, really important. If Bronze had gone down there, this could have gone they would have lost a little bit of control. But as it is, staying alive is very important. They do get more points on the board, so that is 57. Not a bad place to be in. A pretty good opening push, but they're likely going to want to have another big push to lock in that lead. Of course, they do have to take down My Little Pony first, and with all of this crossfire, they are doing a pretty good job of that.
Yeah. I said last game, I think Guru Fan Club got a little anxious. I think My Little Pony is getting a little anxious. After playing the defense impeccably, taking your time, waiting for the pick to come, getting ace, then getting bronze, they just sprinted into the enemy base and just tried to make something happen. And that's not what you can do, really, against better opponents. Like, you have to take your time. And right here, it's just so difficult to take your time when you have no turf and no paint.
Yeah, the Waymaker's laid out as well. That basket is really, really close to mid, and so it's very tempting to run in under there and try and get that clam in, but you have to set up a little bit. Bronze, unfortunately, not able to back out quite in time, but they still get the pick, and Nightstar on that try does get the other pick, so no more points on the board for Greguru Fan Club, but they are going to have a slightly lower penalty the next time they try to push.
Yeah, and that's really daunting if I'm My Little Pony, because this try has been putting up huge work on defense, but we also needed to put up work on offense. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. Because if we can't get a solid foothold into mid, we're just going to slowly drown. And that's not any fun to play, and it's not as much fun to watch.
Yeah, and we have another power clam going in from Guru Fan Club there again. Not too... Oh, okay, I was going to say no follow, but there is a bit of follow-up there from Ace. And now Bronze trying to go in, opts to pivot mid-air, and unfortunately does get taken out. But we did get that down to 27, so that's a great place to be. Basket's gonna close there, but Ace able to clean that up, and now Ace just has reign of this little area there. Oh, unfortunately, I was gonna say you can do a lot with having that area under control, but sometimes it just happens like that.
Yeah, Ace unfortunately going down there, but like if we look at their KA, that 10 KA 3 missiles, they're having a fantastic game so far.
Oh yeah.
And just locking this map down with so much mobility around them, it's so hard to challenge a good K shot, and especially when you're getting 20 missiles.
Yeah, I mean, all of these missiles that are being fired off from both members. He's another pick from them. We are already in single digits, and there it is, Bronze finishing that off with the KO, and so now we're 1-1.
Yes. Now, going into the third game, Ace just had a fantastic game on a more standard map that they've had more experience on, and you could tell the confidence was through the roof. Ace was playing amazing. Bronze just saying, "You got it, bud," and just putting the clams in the basket, playing the objective, doing what they needed to do to win the game.
And you absolutely love to see it. All right, finally, to decide which one of these teams goes into Top Cut, actually, we have splat zones on Snapper Canal. Snapper, definitely one of those maps that you see, but not necessarily zones. I mean, we did talk about this. I don't know when the last time I've seen zones on Snapper is.
Yeah, so Zone Snapper is really weird because of that huge object.
This one is so small. It's minuscule.
And it's a ring, essentially. So you need to have all parts of the ring to cap it.
It's kind of like, almost like it has like, if I'm making a stretch here, it's kind of like Inkblot, because you have that thing in the center, but Inkblot's so much bigger, you have so much more of an open mid, and also you have the space on top that counts. I mean, Snapper is literally just a ring. Like, the top of it is an uninkable. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So, and also, the top doesn't matter on Inkblot either. So
does it not? I swear I've heard people go time and time again, oh, you're not capping the zone on Inkblot because of the top. Really?
So
alright then.
The top mid is important because you need to hold it to stay alive, not because it actually matters to flipping the zone.
Today I learned. Alright then. Well, okay, well, ooh, Dueling Squelchers, and the mirroring the K-Shot pick, though, so, that's okay. Inksaver main on a K-Shot is not something I thought I would see, but there we go. I guess that's fair if you want to keep on powering through.
Yeah, but Greguru Fan Clubs just said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We felt good
I didn't even see the person there.
They felt good about these past two games, and they're not switching it up. So they're going to missile it out. They're going to do what they've been doing these past 2 games. And I'm just waiting for Ace to appear behind this person.
Yeah, nothing personal, kid. Just show up and be right there. The point sensor not deterring them at all. I mean, we got a fight going on and it does the dual purpose of inking the zone. Haha, dual, like tournament. Get it? Anyways, we have the missiles coming out. That zone is still not capped, which is the funny little thing about Snapper is that it looks like the zone should be capped and then it doesn't get capped and then you have to spend like an extra 2 seconds inking it and it's really weird.
Yeah. So again, that's where the ring that I was talking about comes into play because you can't see the other side of zone. All you can see is like half of it. So your half can be perfectly painted, but the other half can be the other team's color, and both teams think they should be capping it, but no one is actually remotely near flipping it. So it's really important that you have people on separate sides painting separate parts of the zone. Otherwise, you're just layering a bunch of turf. And that's all well and good if we're trying to control it. But in actually trying to maintain objective control, it can be problematic.
Yeah. It's also why you might want to just take a glance at that upper little overlay type deal that does show you the inking status of the zone. And ooh, Gregory Fan Club going 2 down there is really rough because that is pretty much exactly where you do not want to go down, where the timer is steadily ticking and there's no penalty and it is getting close to the KO. So they pretty much have, I think, like 1 more shot at this before the respawn timer renders them unable to go back to the zone, and that is ticking down very quickly. They're just kind of locked out now. They did double missile into the zone, but that neutralization is just not going to be enough, and oh, that is unfortunate.
My Little Pony did a fantastic job on that defense.
We saw them cross over into bunker and say, Ace, you can't come down street, you can't come down street, you can't come down street, and then as soon as Ace said, all right, I see you, they backed away. They said, cool, I'm going to go paint the zone. And now Bronze couldn't out-contest the zone. Because we saw at the top of the screen, Bronze was really close to neutralizing it. Actually did neutralize it there for a second. But as soon as Ace had to back off the zone, the other person just turned back and painted the zone and locked the set down for My Little Pony.
And that is their ride to top cut as well. That also does it for the Swiss section of the tournament. So after this, we go into Top Cut. But before we go into Top Cut, we do have a couple of talking points we'd like to mention. First off, that Double Trouble is always looking for staff members and commentators, so you can apply at the Google Forms link that hopefully somebody puts in the chat because they don't have the stream put up. Yes, it does say the link will be posted, so somebody go post the link in the chat. I have a good time at this organization. It's pretty fun. So yeah, if you're looking to help out the community, you can go ahead and apply.
Next thing, Launch Point Draft Cup. Launch Point Draft Cup 9 signups are still open, but you only have 1 week left to sign up. The sign up can be found at the Mulloway IT Discord at discord.io/MullowayIT. Make sure you're there to meet up with your new teammates who will have the best pickup name and who will become the next Draft Cup champions. Find out on the 12th of June at 5 p.m. UTC, 1 p.m. EDT.
Yeah, that tournament's always a blast. I don't play in it, but I commentate, I watch, and it's always really fun. Finally, we have Minnow Cup. So, count your clams because Minnow Cup number 14, Clam Blitz, is on Saturday, the 11th of June, 5 p.m. UTC or 1 p.m. EDT. So you can join in Power Clam Juggling by heading over to the Discord server. We already mentioned that link. And signups will close on the 10th of June at 11 p.m. UTC or 7 p.m. EDT. So both of those tournaments are run by MIT, which is a great organization that provides a lot of fun tournaments. So yeah, go ahead and check that out. With that, that is going to do it for us as a commentator pair. We will be handing off the mic. I don't remember who we'll be handing it off to. Looks like Kaba and Rissa. Oh, that is such a good pair. You guys are absolutely going to want to stick around for that. But before we go, Raze, where can the wonderful people in the audience find you on the internet?
You can find me at Raze Splat on Twitter and Twitch. And if you are looking for coaching, I am on Metafy.
Yeah, we did mention that.
/@Raze. Yeah.
And you can find me on Twitter at Kater_, where I talk about the things I commentate and post art sometimes. But like I said, that'll do it for us. Do stick around, watch K-Bot and Rissa commentate Top Cut, because that is going to be amazing. Thank you all for having us, and the stream will be back in just a couple of minutes.
Don't How's it going, everybody? And welcome back to Duel Inc. 100. This is the 100th Duel Inc., and this is the first time you're hearing my voice on a stream. I don't think I've watched or commentated a single one of these. So how about that? I'm joined by Rissa, my commentary partner earlier today, and this should be a fun one. 2v2s, the end of the night. Like, come on. Should be fun, right?
Right? 2v2s. Sunday evening, and tomorrow is a holiday too, so it's not like I'm sitting here thinking, oh, I have to go to work tomorrow. Yeah, it's great.
Well, I mean, the tournament's not going to end until, like, what, 9 o'clock for you? That's not late. Come on.
Oh, just kidding.
All right, we're heading into this one right here. We are in the top cut bracket, of course, where we are starting off with best of threes here. Feet versus My Little Pony. Interesting combination of team names. We'll see what these teams have for us here on Clan Blitz on the Raid.
So starting out here, My Little Pony was actually able to instantly wipe Feet completely and just able to instantly score a power clam. They recognized that they need to get clams at the ready to start breaking the basket and getting clams in. They had a few other follow-up clams in there, and Nightstar had made another power clam to follow up with that, but was called out there by Feet. So now Feet, here Logan actually pushing up right away, taking the other team's stairs and street area as their teammate is following up with a power clam. So they have 12 clams at the ready. If they're able to get in a good position here, looks like they are able to armor, which is good, and get a pick. So this is a great start for them to get a push going.
Great start here. We'll see how much Nightstar can kind of hold on to things. But right now, it's Logan moving on forward here with a few more clams. Nightstar is going to try to drop in, but is going to go down in the process. Really like this setup here for these two teams. I mean, look, case in point, Logan's able to pick up the one clam that is missed by the teammate there. Unfortunately, it will go down in the process, but a solid push here coming in for this yellow squad as they're able to get this down to the 47-point mark. Very well done, but you know it's going to get met with immediate response here, especially as these members of My Little Pony are starting to charge on forward to their opponent's basket. Don't have power clamp already, though. Now has one, but unfortunately with that teammate going down, it's only going to be that football going in.
Yeah, only one football, not able to lower their remaining points at all as they got completely wiped. You can see they're starting to come out of their spawn here too, but I mean, Feet is really, really aggressive. Already has Logan here pushed up. But Logan, this is the second time we got to see Logan do this, instantly push up into the other team's street and stairs area and just have this aggression going. You can see, this 52 able to call out Logan's splashdown. Their teammate, though, able to follow up. Oh, my goodness, and get the other remaining member of My Little Pony down as they scored that power clam, but they don't have any clams to follow up with this.
Unfortunate there, just could not get around in time to the rest of those clams. Trying to hold down the fort for the teammate to jump back in, but there was not enough time. That barrier is going to go back up top. That's one of the things, you know, with 2v2s. It's almost like a different mentality you have to be in entirely, right? You always have to be thinking about that objective because most likely you're the only player that's going to be able to touch it here as another power clam goes in from this NZAP. Rosie able to find this one, but again, not going to have that follow-up. It's just going to be one power claim in the basket. We're just going to keep seeing this go back and forth. Another 10 points applied to the penalty board, but nonetheless, still making steady progress here.
Still making progress. You can see, I mean, Feet is just doing an excellent job of controlling space. They constantly have this bridge control, and it's making it really difficult for My Little Pony to be able to push into bridge at all and even gain any traction here to try and push in and get a power climb. There's 1v1 happening here. Boeing versus Logan. Logan going to be the one winning that 1v1, and that's really detrimental for Feet here as Logan gets the other member of My Little Pony, their teammate Rosie here, able to follow up with a power clam. Gonna score that in, and hopefully they are able to get a few more clams in and this time be able to keep scoring.
Looks like it here, especially with Logan's setup and those few clams that were just around the basket. Now able to find a few more is now the teammate Rosie coming back in. Logan able to find another one here, just getting these teammates as they come in off the drop down. Able to find that one onto Boeing as well. Rosie's in the meanwhile going to clean things up, and that is going to be the game. Well done there by Feet. And hey, look, you thought that 1v1s were incredibly important in normal Splatoon. They're even more important here when all of a sudden one kill is half of a team wipe.
I know, just thinking about that, I've never really like you, okay, but I've never really watched this tournament, and I obviously haven't played in it either. So it's interesting as we're getting to watch this first set here on stream as K-Bot and I's first time experiencing this. Getting to see what these strategies are and like how you're supposed to play around this. It really comes down to mechanics and 1v1ing. And it really, really stands out.
Let's just say, so we were hanging out a bit before the stream, where I once again said, I have entered 3 tournaments in my life. I can almost guarantee you that a 2v2 tournament is not for me. As someone who has like maybe 400 hours in the game, probably not going to go so hot for me. Just a thought, just thinking that through, probably not going to happen. So these players definitely have to be on the top of their game here. As they are moving on forward. It's going to be all about those mechanics and all about winning those fights, getting those advantageous positions on your opponents. Tower Control Anchovy Games is going to be the counter pick here. But actually, back to the point of 1v1s, it's actually one of the reasons probably why I feel like we're going to see a Ketsu 52 probably at least once a game, right? That weapon is so powerful, and being able to just run around, throw out a wall, guarantee almost getting a kill, can get up in short range, has so much mobility and sorts of things that you can just do with that weapon and just get away with, right? So I imagine that's going to be one of the things to look out for here.
Yeah. Thinking of, the 2v2 meta, is that the meta? I guess we're going to have to see, but I could see it like you were saying, you're able to stall with the wall constantly if someone's approaching you in that 1v1 and you don't want to take it. You can just act as a distraction and be able to constantly throw up a wall and be able to utilize that. So I could see that definitely being a weapon that could come into play for this.
All I know for sure is that the 2v2 meta can't possibly be the same as the 4v4 meta, because the 4v4 meta is quad shooter. You can't see quad shooter in it. 2v2.
True. But we can see, what is that? Double shooter, I guess, as we're seeing right now?
Yes. Yeah, double shooter, K-52s on either side of the map, just like we were talking about on Tower Control here. One of the interesting things, Tower Control does limit the weapons you can play slightly, for those of you that might be a little unfamiliar with this tournament. You are only allowed 1 Booyah Bomb per team, and you are not allowed to play Stingray, specifically for Tower Control. So both these players have their Booyah Bombs in their hands, ready to roll as Logan's going to start zoning some of these members away while Rosie rides this tower for the Feed squad. They're just continuing to trug along forward here. Inkjets come out of Nightstar, and Boeing is going to go down, though, in the process, both these members, and it's just going to be Feet roaring right towards this checkpoint.
Yeah, the teamwork from Logan and Rosie is amazing. You can see Rosie riding the tower, able to call out if someone is going to flank the tower and drop on the tower. Logan able to instantly turn around and try and help with that pick. Just like that, Logan did it right as I was saying it. And you can see they're both able to pair up perfectly, knowing where Nightstar is. Able to get that cross shooting there. And just like that, just able to instantly KO the tower in one swift ride.
Yeah, able to just take care of business there. As you mentioned, those setups are going to be critical here, especially in 2v2s. How are you approaching these fights, and how are you able to defend your opponents as they are approaching? Right now, it's Feet that has a clear answer at the moment. And My Little Pony just could not quite find one, unfortunately, in that case. So it is going to be Feet moving on in the bracket as we continue to look forward here.
Okay, so let's see. Let me go ahead and pull up the bracket here too to take a look at what else is going on. So, refresh. Okay, so it looks like we are still waiting for a few more, or all the other matches to finish out here. Man, I love that we were talking about how K-52, I was like, is that the meta? And then each team came out with a K-52.
Okay, so I was just looking at the bracket. I don't know how to pronounce this kanji name. And I also don't know what it is, because when I pull up the translating website, the English translation says hectoring. I didn't even know that was a word in English. What does hectoring mean?
Good question.
Let's see. Hectoring. Talking in a bullying way. isn't that there's like 9 other words for that, right? Like, what would you just call it? Bullying, or verbal abuse or something? I don't know.
I don't know.
That's all right. Well,
I'm gonna ask our good friend Tic Tac to translate it for us. How about that?
yeah. All right. Tic Tac will just say, "Oh, it's Morbius." That's how you say it.
That's true.
That's. Oh my god.
Not K-Bot saying Morbius on stream.
Not K-Bot saying Morbius. Yeah. Such is life, I suppose, in this day and age. You can't go 10 minutes without seeing a Morbius meme. Okay, that's the world we live in right now. But hopefully from this point on, we'll make this a Morbius-free zone. Or actually, I mean, you all can do whatever you want in Twitch chat. You know, that's your domain. But if you're just listening to the podcast at this point, we'll try to keep away from that.
There will be no more Morbius.
There will be no more. But yeah, sorry folks, we are stalling for a little bit while we're waiting for a few of these other matches to finish up. I imagine we'll take a short break in a moment. Haven't quite received word on that, but yeah. So how's the weather, Rissa?
The weather in San Diego has actually been absolutely perfect.
Nice.
It's a nice.
It's actually been pretty good here too.
It's a nice, like 73 degrees every day.
Nice.
What about where you
I mean,
are?
isn't it like always perfect over there? It actually was pretty good here today too. I actually got a walk right before. I like got up
Oh.
from my computer, went for a little walk. Yeah, outside. Imagine that. Crazy.
Touching grass?
Touching grass, incredible. You tweeted you touched grass as well.
Yes.
So that was nice. But yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna take a real brief break as we get set for round 2 here, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Duel Link 100.
Like, it can kill you very easily if you underestimate it. But zone in the favor of Amen right now, as Q just kind of plays it safe. They will get... Ooh! Very nice vent shield there. They threw a curling bomb and it pulled them off the top. That was ridiculous.
Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to the 100th edition of Duel Inc. You know, that's a lot of tournaments. So it's like a bi-weekly series. That means this thing's been running for like almost 2 years.
Wow.
Is that how that works? Oh no, it's weekly. This is a weekly series? Really? Okay. Well, that still means actually that math checks out because it's still been about 2 years. I did the math wrong the first time, actually. So, still been about 2 years of nearly weekly tournaments. So how about that?
That's awesome.
You are now a part of 2 years of history. How does it make you feel?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I feel...
No, the other caster I'm sitting here with. The other person that can respond to my question. Yes.
It feels awesome. It's exciting to be on the 100th one, especially. I mean, I feel like I've always see, like, on Sundays, I feel like, you know, the vibe is I'm getting ready to go to work the next day, and then I see Leafy or Q or Max post that they won this tournament, and I never actually got to watch it. So now that I actually get to see what happens firsthand. And speaking of .Q, we see .Q and Leafy versus Mango. And Cuz here starting out on, this is Tower Control on Anchovy Games for Game 1.
Wow, I've seen this before. It was the counter pick from the last set, but nonetheless, Club Penguin gonna storm on forward. Leafy is going at their spawn. Hello? Already bomb launcher thrown out here, trying to just figure out where the opponents are, making sure that they can't do anything. Leafy, you are going all over the place. Like, are you okay? What's going on? Have too much caffeine tonight or something? Like, I don't. Oh my goodness.
You know, Leafy, they are able to just push up and single-handedly just have this aggression for their team here. So as .Q is riding the tower, you can see Q poking at whoever that was in the upper left-hand area of the map, and Leafy able to just use this bomb rush to space out the other team and not let them approach. You can see Mango actually trying to come through the right side to at least get to the tower. Looks like Cuz was able to drop down on the left side of tower and actually get that pick on Q here, so it's just Leafy here stuck up, does get called up by Mango as well. So that was a really, really good stop there at the last 5 points from Big Boss.
Just in the nick of time, able to take care of things. But that said, I mean, Club Penguin's got it down to the 5-point mark, and pretty much Big Boss has got to take this all the way to the other side of the map. And they both have to be alive, realistically, in order to do that. So we'll see if they can pull it off here. Booyah Bomb and Ink Armor coming out for both. For Big Boss here, as these specials are also getting popped for Club Penguin. Leafy starting to find the approach here. Is going to get taken out in the process. Double team there. Is going to take care of business. Now .Q trying to hold down the fort on the anchor here all the way back. Mango trying to get a little bit of damage out. Now going to go up with the Booyah Bomb here as well. Looking for one here. Can't quite going to find it. It's now the teammate's going to go down on top of the tower, and that's going to be the end of that push. .Q takes care of business, and Club Penguin's going to be able to put a stop to that.
Looks like Club Penguin is actually kind of switching roles right now. Leafy going to be the one riding the tower to get it back into mid, and .Q is going to be the one pushing up onto the other team's fan. Q using those missiles maybe to try and figure out where the other team is coming in from. Able to back up into mid as they recognize that Big Boss is pushed up into their street already. We see Mango on this K52 and .Q just kind of poking at each other, one trying not to get too close to the other. There's a lot of teams right now just poking at each other and seeing who can get the picks first.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's pretty much what you have to do here, right? You've got to be able to find that one little advantage you can start to really snowball on forward. And it looks like here, Big Boss able to find the one on the Leafy, perhaps a bit of the overextension, but nonetheless, I mean, all Club Penguin really wants to do right now is just burn out the clock, right? They don't need to continue pushing. They've got it all the way down to 5. They cleared both or all 3 checkpoints, excuse me, on this map. And it's really going to be on Big Boss to try to make something happen, but they just cannot quite seem to find the coverage and the, ability to escape things like .Q's laser, to escape Leafy's constant aggression. The burst bombs just continue to get thrown out. Leafy's going to be able to find one on Mango, and there is the double onto Cuz here as well. And actually, the meanwhile, Leafy's been pushing the tower forward. Might be looking for the knockout right here, right now, as that bomb launcher is going to come out. Okay, Mango able to find one here. .Q going to be able to find the cleanup. And unfortunately, the last member there are not able to move forward. And so Club Penguin going to go ahead and take game 1.
That was kind of a lot of reminiscent of what happens when it's a 4v4 tower control. As long as you just stall the tower out and keep it in the other team's spawn, it makes it that much more difficult for the opposing team to get in a position to even get into mid, to start painting, to get their specials, to even get a push going for themselves. So Club Penguin, once they got that lead, they just did a whole lot of pushing the tower up, but not really pushing it too far, and just kind of stalling out that timer as best they could.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, the name of the game. If you get an opportunity to push, yeah, that's great, right? You don't need to. That's not at the forefront of your mind. But, at the end of the day, just making it that much more difficult for your opponent to move on forward is really what it takes. Because in a 2v2, I think actually there's probably even more merit to pushing the tower, right? You can take that tower forward, and now you get 2, maybe 3 opportunities as opposed to just having 1 or 2 to really make a strong defensive case for yourself. So should be interesting there. And actually something that's, worth mentioning is that, hey, actually pushing the tower, even if you go ahead to get wiped, is not a terrible thing in a 2v2 situation.
Yeah, definitely not a terrible thing. And you can just really take advantage of that and just keep utilizing that. And that's exactly what we saw here on that first game that we got to watch on stream. Now remember, everyone watching, this is a best of 3 with counter picks. So this will be up to Big Boss right now to pick a counter pick that they think that they might be able to take the next game on. And we, of course, we get to see the wonderful map list here on stream. I love this because I always am slacking at pulling up what the counter pick list is. So I love this. Looks like the counter pick is in 2. We're going to be going to tower control on Piranha Pit.
Still sticking with tower control. Interesting here. Wonder why they're thinking that tower control is going to be better. I suppose splat zones you're probably going to be, it's going to be easier to lock out on. And then clams, maybe they're just not feeling as confident in, because I feel like clams is especially weird in a 2v2 scenario, right? You can't always rely on your teammate to be there to back up any push that you're going forward with. So maybe they just feel most comfortable with tower control. If I had to guess, it's probably the reason here. Maybe trying to look for a few different angles, a few different flanks that they can try to take care of. But all the same, .Q is still going to be oppressive on that laser. It's a completely open map in a lot of cases. And there are certainly going to be a lot of vantage points for this Bamboo. Leafy switching over to the Kensa 52. And there we go, the Kensa 52 standoff once again.
Yeah, we talked about it in the last set we got to watch on stream, and we're getting to see it again here. The Kensa 52 1v1, each team having a K52. Now, as we start this match off, I saw that when the map was on the overhead screen, it looked like Club Penguin all pushed up together instantly on the left side, and now they were able to kind of stay back in mid, get some specials ready, and use the missiles right away to force Big Boss back. So Big Boss had to back up into their spawn, jump back, and get in a position to regroup.
Yeah, they're trying to do their best to regroup. You see that Booyah Bomb and just how oppressive it can be in this 2v2 situation. Now, locking yourself in that splat wall, staying alive for just a little bit longer. Leafy able to dip and dodge around, is able to find that pick on to Cuz there. And now Mango trying to shark here, might try to play the element of surprise. It is going to be able to find that. Nice double there to take care of business and just stop that push from going any further.
That was a really, really nice shark from Mango. Able to get 2 off of that, and that's exactly what they needed to be able to get in a position to at least stop the tower. So them able to stop the tower, but Leafy here just rushing up right away, able to get that pick on Cuz. But then on the other side, it looks like Mango had actually gotten the pick on .Q. So Leafy able to just instantly turn around and get that pick on Mango. Now start pushing the tower, get a jump in for Q, and that is going to be another way for them to have the tower moving once again and start pushing up to this next checkpoint.
Now we're going to throw that Booyah Bomb just past that wall, forcing this member of Big Boss away. And they're already approaching the second checkpoint with no picks on either side. I say that Leafy might get caught out, but no, actually both those members just backing away. They're well away from the tower, which is actually very good here for Big Boss and probably just as valuable as finding the picks themselves, as now they're going to allow this tower to reset back to neutral. Not allowing this team to pass this section checkpoint is so far critical to make sure that Big Boss is staying in this game, but all the same, another one goes down, and now Club Penguin has another opportunity.
Club Penguin once again pushing the tower in this familiar situation that we've already seen them in a few times here. Q using those missiles to try and separate Big Boss. Looks like that works out really well as Leafy is able to get that pick on Cuz. But once again, we're in this situation again where Mango was able to come around and get that pick on .Q. So, oh my goodness. Okay. I thought it was going to be a Booyah Bomb 1v1 there, but then Mango actually turned around and Booyah Bomb spawn instead. So K-52s, they're just doing what they do best, using those Booyah Bombs, spacing out each other constantly. Mango having to jump back and regroup with Cuz here as Club Penguin once again pushing the tower, trying to get their points in.
I mean, how annoying is it comes to 52, right? You just throw up a wall, you throw around a Booyah Bomb. You have no idea what's coming at you next. They can just dip and dodge around the ink. You land 3 shots, and that's the pick. So many things to kind of consider here, but all of a sudden, 2-down situation for Club Penguin. Big Boss is going to be able to hop on this tower, but again, as we've seen time and time again, really, it's not about momentum. It's all about winning these fights and trying to make sure that you're picking off your opponent before they can take care of you. Mango throwing this Booyah Bomb, able to survive now as that Leafy is going to try to approach this tower, is able to get taken down by a well-placed bomb coming in from Cuz. And they're just going to continue pushing forward, able to clear past this first checkpoint, and now have to see what the approach is from Club Penguin as they start to come back in.
Yeah, you can see Q there painting up to get her missiles ready. Does use the missiles there and starts to push up through them. But a Booyah Bomb coming out from Mango. Looks like there's going to be a counter Booyah Bomb actually coming out from Leafy right now. As that, the score got down to 49. 8 points away from getting the lead there. 9 points away, excuse me. So that was really, really close. But I love the patience from Club Penguin. They waited for missiles. They waited to utilize those to push in to the tower together, and were able to take it back just like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Those specials coming in quite useful for Club Penguin. Now will they be able to hold on to this for the rest of the game? Both the specials are online, and one of the members of Big Boss now has to respawn. So once again, it's the regroup. .Q pushing the tower. Again, as we were talking about, pushing this tower, not a terrible thing in this case scenario. You're just buying that little bit of extra time if you do happen to go down that your opponents will have to tick through. And now looks like they're going to go ahead and back away. Big Boss will be forced to try to push this down to the other mark. Already Leafy up in the air with this Booyah Bomb, able to get one down. There's Mango going down as well, and hopping on the tower to seal the deal. Club Penguin gonna punch their ticket to finals.
I love that Leafy there just had the Booyah Bomb at the ready, waited till, the 2-second, 3-second marker there, and just had that GG Booyah Bomb ready, able to just throw it at the tower and just take it like that. So, but man, I think that Big Boss did a really good job. They almost got the score there. They were really close, but
So close.
I know, it was so close. I love to see that, and it could have had the potential to then have a crazy comeback potentially from Club Penguin, but that was really good, well played from Big Boss also.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely well played, right? Frankly, the two players you're going up against, nothing to scoff at here, right? And they were able to kind of hold it, especially in that second game, towards being competitive. So hats off to them. A valiant effort nonetheless. But of course, it's Leafy and .Q right there. Most of the time, I feel like they're one of the folks in a finals for this. You were saying, oftentimes tweeting about winning and seeing that in the morning. or what have you. So hats off to them. But I think we're going to be getting into finals in just a little bit. But before we do, I think Reef from the staff team here has a little bit of a special announcement. So I'll hand it off to Reef and we'll catch you back for finals in just a bit.
This junior is the win condition. But two members going down is only the best ones and parries. Popping that jet, there is not enough time to get that.
Hello everyone. So as we just saw from that video, a new tournament called Tripnacity will be returning. Tripnacity has been a tournament that has been vacant for the past year, basically. Last event we ran was in January 2021, and it's now going to be returning under Double Trouble. Tripnacity is now going to be a bi-weekly tournament on Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and going to be a double elimination. If you would like any more information, you can see on screen right now, Twitter at double_trouble_SPL. And then if you would like to join our Discord server for more information, or to join the tournament, then you can find that at discord.io/double_SPL. So thank you for that, and I'm going to be passing it back over to K-Bot and Marissa.
Cool. Thank you for that, Reef. And hey, I mean, now you've got me interested to take a look at what the 3v3 gameplay looks like, right? If this is what 2v2 looks like, and then what 4v4 looks like, what does 3v3 look like? Some kind of hybrid in the middle? Surely there's like some other thing that you've got something else, you know. I don't even know what to think about 3v3 or what kinds of things could happen there. But certainly interesting. Obviously, stay tuned for more information from the staff team here. Should be a lot of fun to see that series return.
I love too that it's on Friday nights. That's like the night, you know, you're done with your work week, you're done with your school week, time to hang out and play some Splatoon. Why not go into a 3v3 tournament? That sounds like a lot of fun, and I'm super excited for this actually. That trailer got me hyped.
Yeah. So good stuff here coming in. Of course, we've got a tournament to finish up here in just a bit. Club Penguin coming off the 2-0 victory. Now, the funny thing is, we watched Feet earlier, right? They won in advance. They're going up against a team name called Give Us Q. Which is funny because .Q is on a different team. And it's Madness and Legend who very consistently play with Leafy and .Q and, you know, that kind of friend group. So it'd be fun to watch them in Grands. We'll just have to see what the result of that set is. Unfortunately, don't have any updates right now, but of course, when we know, we will let you all know.
Yeah, we were looking at the rosters before this. So on the side of Give Us Q, it's Madness and Legend. And of course, Legend is on Jackpot with Leafy and Q, who are waiting right now in grand finals. So it would just be really fun to watch, you know, essentially a team playing 2v2 against each other. But of course, I mean, Feet was playing really, really good. We'll have to see what happens. Like K-Bot said, we don't have any updates just yet.
Yeah, so definitely will be interesting to see what the result of that is. Also, update, Leafy has had 2 Bang energy drinks today. Apparently she's listening to the stream and DM'd me after me saying that. So now we know. Okay, maybe that's too much caffeine. I don't know.
Maybe that
Of
should
course.
be my new commentating strat.
It's just caffeine beforehand.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
I don't know. If I had caffeine, I'd probably talk even faster, and I don't think anyone needs that.
yeah.
Probably not anyway. Who knows? Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, that's a long day of Splatoon after 20XX earlier today for 4 hours. And then this event, which has been running for 3.5 at this point. That's like 7.5 hours of Splatoon. How do you people do that? Like, I don't get it. I get bored of Splatoon after 2 hours. I'll say it.
Wow.
That's part of the reason I don't play in tournaments and things like that. I play the game for like 2 hours for a rotation, and then like that's enough for me. How do you people do that?
Honestly, I don't know. I'll be like, I'm gonna play this, scrim for an hour and a half, and then all of a sudden it's like 4 hours in, and I'm like, huh? I'm not tired yet. I'm still here playing the game. I don't know how it happens. It just
like in the zone. You just keep going. Yeah, I don't get it. Like, I'm glad I enter like a double elimination tournament and I go like 1 and 2, and then like I'm out, right? Like, that's enough. See ya. I'm out of here. For the 3 tournaments that I've played ever. I could not imagine 2 tournaments in one day. Going through the roller coaster, especially going through the roller coaster earlier today, of like,
today was crazy for 20XX.
right. And then like coming back and doing this. Like, it's one thing to like talk and it's one thing to commentate. You can talk for a long time. I can talk for a long time at least. I don't think I've ever lost my voice. It's been raspy.
What?
But I've never completely lost my voice.
The only time my voice completely got destroyed and I basically lost it was after Riptide, commentating Riptide Grand Finals. That
Star Wars versus FTW. Yeah.
Yeah, and the bracket reset.
On a LAN. Bracket reset. Yep.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
That was the only time I've ever lost my voice.
All right. Well, we know our team now. It is going to be Give Us Q. So, friends, now enemies for the next 5 potential games of Splatoon. Give Us Q was taken to game 3 by Feet, however. So, but of course, this will be a best of 5 for us to end our night, starting on Splat Zone's Manta Maria. Yeah, let's see what these teams have in store, because this should be fun to watch.
This should be super fun to watch. Getting to see, like I was kind of talking about, essentially it's like Jackpot plus Madness versus each other here.
Squid back. I want to see a twit longer by the end of this set. All right, I'll say it. I want to see a twit longer.
Okay, K-Bot said it, not me.
Double K52s either side of the map. No surprise there. The Neo Splash has been like another pretty consistent pick. Able to use that use that bomb launcher paired with the burst bombs. A little bit of extra chip damage there as well. And then of course .Q on that Bamboozler, already applying so much pressure to Legend. Can't quite get this bomb launcher off. Is able to find an assist on 1, as now it looks like they might be able to take both these zones. No, actually, Leafy taking care of 1. Madness could be the last one up and is going to be able to secure both these zones. Start this timer ticking for one of these squads.
I love that. Madness, of course, known for being an amazing Nautilus player, but Madness going to be playing that K52. I think we figured out what the 2v2 meta is. It's K52. You gotta have one of those on your team here. It's working out really well for both of these teams as they've both gotten to grand finals here. So now, as Club Penguin is able to come back in and start trying to get into mid here, Legend able to just completely rush down .Q there with Madness, and now the two of them are turning around to make sure that they have the zones completely capped and able to get this final pick on Leafy. So with no penalty points right now, Give Us Q is looking pretty dang good.
Pretty good here and set up for success. The question is, will Club Penguin be able to find a little bit of ink on zone? There is a few burst bombs coming out here. That's the MK2 burst bomb launcher coming in for .Q. Probably trying to provide a little bit more paint on top of the zone as opposed to, your other options here. But nonetheless, cannot quite seem to find the conversion here. .Q goes down. Leafy starting to move forward here. Has to try to paint one of these zones. Has to try to neutralize something. Able to find the second pick there. Allow this to jump in for .Q. Applying that hefty 70-point penalty to keep Club Penguin in this game.
What a nice 1v1 there. Leafy was able to take on and then get the jump in just like that. I love that Q was able to just instantly jump in to be able to potentially have to back up their teammate. Leafy noticing that Madness dropped down there on the cut area, able to get that pick on Madness, and now you can see that they know exactly where Legend is and able to just push up and put all this pressure on Legend, using that Booyah Bomb right onto Legend, and able to get that is also gonna pair up there with Q and get that other pick on Madness. So they are in it right now as they are just pushed up together. Club Penguin pushed up here, taking control and counting down these points.
Ooh. Madness able to find one, has to try to find this one on the .Q before turning their attention towards this zone. .Q zoning them away. Now 5 takes the timer left to go. Will they be able to find ink on top of the zone? Special is up at the ready, but that's going to require hopping up into the air, and that's going to leave you pretty much useless there for a few seconds. Those few seconds can be the difference. Looks like Leafy going to drop down, able to find one. Now it's a 1v1 in the zone area. Who's going to be able to come out on top here? Suction bombs coming in. As now they're just kind of wandering around and running around the posy around this hole. But finally, the penalty is applied. Give Us Q able to cap this zone once again, staying alive in this game. We have seen such long pushes from both these squads.
I know, this is so close, and it's only game one here. So right now with Give Us Q in control of the zone, we're seeing Q come in. Q doing what she does with the bamboo, getting those missiles ready. Yes. Getting those missiles ready, and you can see Leafy.
Burst bomb launcher.
Burst bomb launcher. Excuse me, sorry. And then paired with Leafy's Booyah Bomb there, they are doing everything they can to try and get to the zone. Right now, it's a 1v1 Q versus Legend, as Legend is turning to paint the zone to at least make sure that it's stalled out as long as it can as they wait for Madness to jump in. Legend is just being a little, just moving around. A nuisance. Yeah, being a nuisance there, as Q wasn't quite able to get that pick on Legend, and that 1v1 played out in Legend's favor as the zone is in control of Give Us Q.
Have to be careful of what exactly happens here. Just a few seconds left to go in the game. This is going to be Give Us Q's last attempt here. And Club Penguin has to find a way to cap at least one of these zones, keep them neutral at the 0-second mark. With one going down on the side, it's going to have a nice window of opportunity here, but now a Booyah Bomb gets thrown right at Leafy's feet, forced to retreat. We'll see what happens if they're able to come up with this. Splat Wall is going to put in a number there, but Madness is able to pick off Leafy nonetheless. Now Legend back on the respawn, able to cap this zone, and .Q forced to jump away. There's another opportunity for Give Us Q to take this game.
I love that Q jumped away. They're recognizing that, okay, we have the lead right now. They have penalty points, still about 30 penalty points that they need to work through. And, oh my goodness, so as Q jumped back, got her special ready, Leafy actually got called out there. You can see Madness with this GG Booyah Bomb just holding it and waiting for the other team to start pushing in. Does use it and does get that pick onto Q. It looks like is going to be poking at Leafy. Legend able to follow up on that pick with Leafy. And just like that, able to get the lead there at the last possible second there. Give Us Q taking game one.
Well done there to play the patient game and take the first game of the series. I mean, at the end of the day, when you have the zones in this mode, your opponents have to come to you. You're the one that gets to set the rules for what exactly that's going to look like and what that fight's really going to entail. So Give Us Q able to really use that to their advantage at the end. And hey, maybe they'll win back Q. One of these players will be playing and Dueling 101 next week with .Q. Who knows? Who knows with how this set will end up.
Ooh, okay, so this is now, like we mentioned, Top Cut finals here. Best of 5 now, as we are in grand finals, and we still have counter picks. So, it's gonna be really interesting what this counter pick is. I mean, of course, Q plays long range weapons, Legend and Madness playing short range weapons. Are they gonna maybe do something that's more condensed, and that way they can move around a little bit more? I don't know. We're gonna have to see what they're thinking. Oh, I'm sorry, Club Penguin. Club Penguin,
We'll
are they
have to
gonna?
see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, certainly it's going to be something where DocQ feels comfortable, right? That's the real difference maker, I feel like, in the course of this. And turns out we're going back to Anchovy, except this time it's on Splat Zones. Once again, taking care of that middle of the map. Actually, what is the more optimal mode for 2v2s? Is it zones or is it tower control?
I don't know. We've got to see tower control, what, twice now, right?
A handful of times.
Yeah, so I don't know. I would think I was gonna say zones maybe, but I mean the lockout potential could be dangerous, so
Yeah, that's
I
what I'm
don't
thinking. I
know.
think for zones, I feel like you're potentially more prone to lockouts, where it is much more difficult to set up a lockout for tower control because you're riding the tower, right? Like one of those members is riding the tower. So maybe it depends on what you're looking for, right? Like maybe it's a little bit more risky for zones because there are maybe less fair, quote unquote, fights that happen. But I don't really know. We'll have to see how this one plays out here and what the differences between the earlier Anchovy game and what this one are. Same weapons coming out of both of these, or for all 4 of these players. And it looks like they're just going to have to feel each other out if we start things off. Booyah bombs instantaneously going up in the air. Madness going to get taken down by one of them, thrown at the feet. And that's going to be the early 2 down. Going to the favor of Club Penguin. They're going to be the ones to get this first hold, and we'll see how far Leafy pushes forward.
yeah, we get to see, this is what we were talking about, to see how this lockout works for zones in a 2v2 situation. Leafy there was able to already get a Booyah Bomb at the ready, be able to use it to just add pressure into give us Q's spawn, and Q just staying back in the zone, making that sure that she's guarding it, and then she can also be just getting missiles constantly for Leafy when Leafy is there pushed up into their spawn. Madness gonna use this Booyah Bomb to try and stall out the zone, is able to push up through that and at least cap it, so that way they are able to give Club Penguin those 40 penalty points. Q very smartly jumping back, that way she can regroup with Leafy.
Yeah, absolutely here. Well done to bring that cap back here for Give Us Q. But oh no, instantly 2-down situation. DocQ is able to find one, couldn't tell who found the other. And now they're going to go once again for this kind of a lockout sort of a thing. You see DocQ pushed up a little bit further this time, potentially just looking for a little bit more ink and things of that nature. But now Leafy all the way pushed forward, able to find one. Booyah Bomb comes in and able to find the second here as well. Going to extend the lead for Club Penguin. Will they be able to find the knockout here?
This is what we were talking about, the potential to, you know, be in the spawn and not let the other team come in. You see Leafy there pushed up all the way with Q behind her. Madness pushing in to try and get a pick on Q. Does, I think, does succeed there, and Madness does get called out as well. So Legend here flanking around, knows that he just needs to cap the zone, trying to use that bomb rush to cap the zone, and is able to, and also get that pick on Leafy, as Leafy had turned around to try and stop Legend from capping the zone there. So with Legend now pushed up into Club Penguin spawn, and Madness able to jump in. Let's see if this hold from Give Us Q is going to play out for them.
Brilliant play by Legend. Madness in a little bit of an unfortunate spot here. Has to throw that Booyah Bomb almost directly down. Can't throw it wayward, but nonetheless here, it is going to be at least a zone hold for now for Give Us Q. Now Madness finding the aggression, is able to go on forward, looking to extend this, as that's going to be Leafy going down. DocQ still up but can't really do much as a solo Booyah Bomb when you're looking at 2 shooters on the other side of the map. Now, a few ticks of the timer left to go. 10 missiles coming out here, and these players are going to be forced to reposition. Will there be enough ink falling on top of the zone? Leafy now coming in for the respawn. There it is, moving forward on top of the zone. The zone gets capped back into the purple color, but it's just not enough paint for Club Penguin. Give us Q, able to grab that game right away.
Wow, what a turnaround of events there. And that was one of those moments where you just have to sit back and be like, okay, we just need to paint the zone. That's exactly what Give Us Q did there. So they were just like, okay, we just need to keep painting the zone. We almost have it. And they played that perfectly, just making sure that they really focused on objective. And then Club Penguin doing everything they could to try and get back to the zone just in time. They were able to get that pick on Legend at the last second, but not quite enough to be able to recap the zone.
Yeah, well done there. I mean, really, at the end of the day, I think 2v2 more than anything else, you have to be playing the objective at all times, right? You have to be thinking about, all right, how am I going to get back to the zone? How am I going to be able to push this tower? How is this going to actually play around when you only have 2 people to rely on that for you, right? No, most of the time it's like, okay, we get a wipe on the team, we push, right? But a lot of these cases, I mean, especially when it's coming down to the wire, you always have to be paying attention to that zone. At the end of the day, I mean, Give Us Q has just been playing around this zone quite well in the past 2 games. And now we'll have to see if they can take that to tower control, as Club Penguin's final counter pick is going to be taking us to Piranha Pit here, where, of course, we saw them play quite well earlier. But will it be enough to combat this from the other squad?
Yeah, remember, if Give Us Q wins this 3rd game, they will be the ones winning this tournament. So in order for Club Penguin to be in the tournament still and be able to move on to the game 4, Club Penguin is going to have to take this. And on their counter pick, like Kwot said, they were playing really nicely on this map and mode earlier. So I could see them definitely thinking back to that strategy that they had and trying to think about wanting to use that. Tower control Piranha Pit is it's definitely an interesting tower control map. I love that we're getting to see it on here because it's not necessarily played in normal competitive tournaments a lot. So I like that we're getting to see it here because I never really get to see it played.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think tower control Piranha Pit is not necessarily a bad one. They're just typically, when you're thinking of Piranha Pit, you're thinking of, all right, I'll take the zones, I'll take I'll probably take the clams on the map because it's good enough. It's suitable for clams, right? And if it's suitable for clams, it's like, all right, please, because there are very few maps that actually Clamblitz works on. But nonetheless, yeah, typically tower control isn't brought into 4v4 tournament map lists because there are just better modes. But in this event, able to come out here, and it's, you know, brings up an interesting dynamic given that, especially in tower control, it is still all about these fights. There are enough opportunities for that tower to get, you know, fought for on either side of the map here. So we'll just have to see how this pans out now, as it looks like Club Penguin going to be the first to grab this tower. Actually interesting here, DocQ switching to the 96. Should probably comment on that. DocQ plays something other than Charger, apparently. Was not informed.
Yeah, this is I have not seen this before, but it looks like it's starting to play out really well for them. I mean, Club Penguin right now having the initial lead. It's not by much just yet, but they do have the initial lead here as they are back on the tower, starting to push it. Leafy here in this 1v1 with Legend. It looks like Leafy going to use this Booyah Bomb to throw it at Legend, but Legend able to shred that Booyah Bomb and get that pick on Leafy. So now Legend going to push up here as Madness takes the tower for Give Us Q, and Give Us Q starting to push the tower to get the lead. The lead is not by much, but they are starting to get in a position to try and take the lead.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see exactly. You know, both these teams still feeling each other out very much. As you see a few burst bombs getting thrown out back and forth. Neither one of these teams able to find a full wipe and a full momentum building push to come out. Looks like one goes down here for Give Us Q. Gonna be looking to try to move on forward. Perhaps this Club Penguin. There it is. Leafy able to find that second pick, and now it's going to be all about the setup. Will they be able to get past this first checkpoint? Because right now we're almost halfway through this game and neither team is cleared past this first checkpoint. Looking doable here, and that is going to be the case. There's not much of resistance is pulled up from Give Us Q, but now they're starting to come forward. Matt is able to find one just before that Booyah Bomb, but Leafy able to respond in turn, where you see the callouts happen in real time like that. Leafy's just like, yep, all right, I got this. Throw the Booyah Bomb down, swim right through, and take care of business. Now another 2-down situation. Leafy's the one to stay alive, as Club Penguin's going to continue pushing forward towards the second checkpoint. Booyah Bomb comes out again, but .Q goes down. Will Leafy be able to find the 1v2 here as well? Doesn't look likely. Just going to swim away to take care of that.
Ooh, Leafy there tried to, looks like maybe try to fake them out, go back a little bit, but then come back in and try and get that flank off on them. Legend, though, able to call that out and just instantly get that pick on Leafy. Now, right now, Legend and Madness both have their specials ready, so you can see they're waiting to get tower into mid, waiting to get it to this first checkpoint and get in a position to use their specials. As specials do come out from Club Penguin, looks like they were waiting for that exact moment, and they are going to counter that with their specials here as they're trying to get past this first checkpoint.
Sprinkler comes out, sits right on top of tower, and then immediate crossfire from the two members of Club Penguin. And here we go again. Leafy able to clean up that last member, and so a push just not able to fully get secured here for Give Us Q, not able to clear past this checkpoint. And now looking a little bit more neutral as things are going to continue to play out here. Still got about a minute on the clock. Plenty of time for another push to start between one of these teams.
Yeah, we're kind of in that position we were in the beginning of the match where both teams are kind of poking at each other, seeing who can maybe get the upper hand, get a feel for each other. And it looks like in that sense here, Give Us Q was able to get the upper hand and get the tower going. They are back at this first checkpoint and you see Legend using this bomb rush to start getting some space, getting some map control, and then Madness actually using that Booyah Bomb as Club Penguin was starting to come into the tower. Right now, they have the tower down to 51. They just have to make sure they play this really carefully and don't die as they try to stall out the tower best they can.
Try to be looking for this, though. Have to touch that checkpoint for Give Us Q. Trying to look for these other members. Now finds the trade here between the two gals. Now it's Leafy versus Legend on top of the tower, and Leafy's going to be the one to walk away with it. The K-Gal remains supreme here. Now just able to try to defend this tower, trying to make sure that none of these members of Give Us Q force this into overtime. But of course, the last second plays here coming out. Leafy able to clean up once again and take care of business. To be Club Penguin taking their first game of the tournament to stay alive.
Ooh, this is what I was talking about. In order for Club Penguin to stay in this grand set of this tournament, they did have to win this game, so they did just that. And that weapon switch up, what do you think of that weapon switch from Q, K-Bot?
I don't know. I guess perhaps in some ways it was able to... I mean, in a lot of ways, Q's primary job, especially on tower control, seems like you've got your one rider and you've got your one aggressor. It's kind of been like what we've seen so far on tower control. And obviously, Leafy is much more of the aggressor, Q's the tower rider. And I think in most cases, the tower rider can't do a lot, right? You're kind of going to be away from the action unless your aggressor is playing much closer to the tower, which Leafy has tended not to do, right? So there's only going to be so much that .Q can really do, but what she can do is charge up an ink armor to enable Leafy even more, right? And so I think we were seeing a little bit of that there as well. I think 96 over ends up so that you have the range more or less, right? You're able to just kind of apply a little bit more ink a little bit further away, especially on a map like Piranha Pit where a lot of members can just be coming in from any direction. Having a little bit of that buffer of just a little longer radius around that tower, I think is going to be useful, but we'll have to see if they stick with it. I honestly doubt that was going to be something that continues for the rest of the set. Now transitioning back to Splat Zones, I imagine we'll see .Q pick back up the charger. There it is, back on the bamboo here.
Okay, so Q back on the bamboo, and remember, this is Give Us Q's counter pick as we are going into splat zones on Mako Mart. So both teams right now coming in, we see same comp also that we have been seeing from Give Us Q. Both teams now trying to poke at each other, and it looks like Club Penguin getting the upper hand instantly as they are able to get 2 members down of Give Us Q as they are in control of the zones right now. You can see Leafy there on the bottom right, just painting around, making sure that she is able to get her special ready. Q does have her special at the ready too, and is actually going to already use that to solo missile Legend and then push up behind those missiles and just be super aggressive in their spawn.
Booyah Bomb comes out again. Looks like able to sneak away there was Madness. Legend starting to come on forward here. Is perhaps Madness to follow? No, actually. .Q was able to find that, or Leafy was able to find that. 1v1 now on top of the zone as both these members just trying to paint over one another. Somebody's got to make a move here, folks. It's going to be Legend starting to move around. Leafy as well. But it's going to run right into Madness on that jump back in. .Q takes care of that one. And now once again, just very neutral between these two. Neither one of these players wants to make a move. Now the 10 missiles come out here, trying to force Legend away, but Legend pops his pod launcher as well, continuing to apply pressure on top of this zone. And now Madness looking for another angle to try to approach from, try to surprise these members of Club Penguin, but no surprise here. Leafy is going to take care of business.
Yeah, Leafy using that Booyah Bomb to just help them keep the zone through the specials that were coming out from Give Us Q. And now Leafy painting around, making that sure that she is going to get her Booyah Bomb ready for the defense. So you can see up at the top right, Give Us Q both have their specials at the ready. As Madness started Booyah Bombing though, Q was able to get that pick onto Legend. So points are counting down right now for Club Penguin as they have no penalty points and are continuing to get these points on the board. I mean, they're doing a great job at guarding the zone right now.
Q coming around for the flank. Give Us Q not really wanting to approach the zone at the moment. Leafy standing high up there on top of that box, trying to find the paint here. Legend trying to shark, just trying to stay alive for just a little bit longer. They really want to find the zone cap here. Finally able to find that one onto Leafy, but Q able to trade it right back. Bomb thrown right at the feet. Q able to find the paint on top of the zone, and we're heading to a game 5 in Duel Links 100.
Oh my gosh, that was so clutch from Q as Q was able to just take advantage of them looking at Leafy, and then Q just came up behind and was able to just get that pick with the bamboo. That was super clutch and able to let them just completely KO that. So we are going to a game 5, and this last game 5 set is going to be Give Us is going to be Give Us Q's counter pick.
Now, how does that work? Like, do they have to consult Q on like what the counter pick is, or because like they want Q on their team? It was a really bad joke. It was a really bad.
It went right over my head.
It's a really bad joke. Anyways.
I'm so sorry. It went right over my head.
Yeah, it's late. It's late. We've been doing this. This is our, what, 4th hour or something going on that?
Yeah, technically.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a day. And now we wait. Now we wait for the counter pick. I don't know what more there is to say that hasn't already been said. Here it is. 4th Splat Zones map. Mosselford.
Ooh.
I imagine just trying to find a map where your bamboo isn't going to be as strong. It's probably what the thought process is for Give Us Q. I mean, if I had to guess, right? I feel like bamboo, it's okay here, but you either don't have enough range for most positions, or the, kind of angles of that zone area make it more difficult to just pick people off. So I have to imagine that's probably the thought process here. I don't know. What do you think they're looking for?
I could definitely see that. And like the trenches of this map, those walls that come up the side of the zone. Definitely might be a little bit more difficult for a Bamboo to travel up those fast, unlike a K52 and a Splash. So I could see a lot of, aggressive plays coming out of the trench and trench walls. So that's maybe my thought process, and them trying to utilize having those aggressive weapons a little bit more.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see here. These players taking their time to get into this game. I don't know, what was there, a lobby DC or something? Like, all right, here we are. Final game of the tournament, Spot Zone's Muscle Forge Fitness. It's Duel Inc. 100 here. Who will be the 100th tournament champion of Duel Inc.? We'll just have to wait and see. Of course, double 52s, and it's going to be the custom Jet Squelcher coming out here for .Q. We saw her play the Jet Squelcher once or twice earlier today, and now it's going to come out for Game 5 here.
Yeah, and there she is using that Stingray to try and maybe get a pick and help with Leafy to get a pick with the Stingray, but Leafy does go down at the start of this, so Give Us Q sitting really nicely. Give Us Q has the zone. They both have their specials ready, and you can see they're just sitting and kind of waiting for Club Penguin to come into them. Looks like it'll finally be the chance as Leafy here gonna use that Booyah Bomb to help their team push in. And with the trade happening, essentially it's a 1v1 right now with Legend and Leafy, as they're both trying to cap the zone and do everything they can to paint it and maybe get a pick on each other.
Now looking for this Leafy weak. It's going to get taken down as Madness comes back in from spawn. I want to say, well done to paint the zone right after the Booyah Bomb landed, by the way. Excellently played to just have instantly that amount of map coverage right in front. Much more difficult for Leafy to try to approach here. But now all of a sudden, 26 timer left to go between the tournament victory here for Give Us Q. Now looks like try to take care of business here. Once again, the immediate cap back right if that Booyah Bomb comes out. .Q trying to find the paint here. Doesn't want to use the Stingray right away, as that's not going to be as useful in painting. And finally, one of the members going down. .Q able to find the drop onto Legend. And Club Penguin able to cap the zone for the first time. That was looking dangerous there for a moment, but they're able to take care of business.
Yeah, able to take care of business, and now Q using this Stingray to actually force Madness there to jump back and get in a position to regroup. Sometimes if there's a Stingray on you, it's just better to jump back, make sure you save your special percentage and be able to regroup with your team. So that's exactly what Madness did. And now with no penalty points still, wow, Club Penguin able to get that pick onto Madness. Now it's just Legend here trying to just kind of stall out here and not go down, as they know exactly where Legend is. They're just trying to poke at Legend here, as Legend's doing everything he can to wait for Madness to come back.
Has to wait, but also has to act quickly here. Again, just a few ticks of the timer left to go before the knockout comes on in. Will they be able to paint the zone as fast as they've been painting so far? Legend, Madness. No, Madness is going to go down. It's going to be the lead for Club Penguin, and they're going to take the tournament in a reverse sweep for finals. It's Club Penguin, Leafy, and .Q that are your Duel Inc. 100 champions.
What a grand final set for us to watch as our first time watching this tournament and watching a 2v2 tournament. That was awesome, going all the way to Game 5 with these amazing players.
Yeah, absolutely. That's, the thing about how disciplined these players are, right? We're looking at the objective so much to, especially on zones there. How are you going to be able to play around that? How are you going to be able to utilize your weapons in a way such that you're able to find the advantage in your 1v1 fights? That's really what 2v2s boil down to here. And at the end of that game, of course, it was all Club Penguin that was able to take care of business. So, hats off to them. Of course, hats off to Give Us Q. I'm sure there's going to be congratulations and maybe a squid party for all 4 of those players in the same lobby in a bit here. But hats off to them. Well played all around.
Yeah, well played all around, and awesome for us to watch as commentators, and I'm sure for the stream as well. So that being said, we are going to be, that's going to be it for us. We will be actually ending the stream here, and it looks like we are going to be hosting someone named Largest Bread. Before we do that, just want to shout out myself. My name is Rissa. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch if I ever stream, which doesn't really happen anymore, but at Rissa High. K-Bot, where can the good people find you?
KBot_273 on Twitter for the most part. You can pretty much keep up with whatever I'm doing there, or whatever I'm not doing there. Although, why would you want to keep up with someone that supposedly is retired? Who knows?
True.
I don't know. True. Anyway, that'll do it from us here tonight. On behalf of the Double Trouble team, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, Vapor has been our producer the entire night. Shout outs and as well to the admin team here for Double Trouble. Hope to see you back here next week or back around for Tripnacity, the 3v3 event that's getting brought back. We'll see you all around, folks. Take care and have a good night.